Welcome everybody to Swimmer Sync 128, the weekly tournament here on IPL. It's gonna be a fun one and a grand one on top of it. My name is Keon. On the mic with me is Lily. To kick off the Swimmer Sync 128. First of all, Lily, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic, and it's great to be here with you again, Kian. I'm excited to see these matches that we have lined up. First, I believe we're first going to be seeing Honda Squidic versus Sub Power Up.
That
So
is it. Yep, that
that
is indeed. Go ahead. Sorry.
so that I think is going to be exciting. Fairly close seeded teams as well in this tournament, and I do believe that Honda Squidic has now that I believe they're a Div 4 team this Ludi season, and also Low Ink winners back in August. And I believe you're also pretty familiar with the team Sub Power Up as well.
Sub Power Up dates all the way back to when Purdue actually had back when they were actually a Purdue team, actually all the way back to the ITAP days. So this team has been around for a long
Mm.
time. It is
Hmm.
great to see Subpar here in an SOS, and this is going to be a fun and intriguing matchup to say the least. And it's one of those matchups where I start to think, okay, you got the winners of Lowing from August of this year against a team that's been around for a while. You could be seeing a lot of fascinating things, really, between Honda Squidic and Sub Power Up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see what both of these teams do bring to the table. It's of course these teams have been kind of around for a while and are pretty well known, I have to say. So I'm definitely curious to see what's going to happen. We have actually quite a few things to talk about regarding, like, we've got like 61 teams in this Swim Sync, so and a few teams which I've seen like do especially well in recent tournaments as well. I don't know necessarily if we're going to see all of these teams on stream, but I know that Flower Pot definitely one to look out for. Free Dart Monkey, Limbo. Those are a couple of teams that are just looking at the teams that have signed up. Very exciting to see, but it does look like we've already gone into this match at the moment where on this particular map, it's always going to be about being able to control like the other team's plat, right? So we can already see how far up they're being pushed here. We can see already a couple of players have gone down, but I think Sub Power Up, what they're just going to be doing right now is just attempting to hold this position as far as possible.
Yeah, and we get to see Honda Squidic basically being pushed back in familiar ground, and the rest of Subpar Up, for those tuning in, it's pretty much on the orange color side, purple color side, bluish color side for that matter, is going to be Honda Squidic. So that's going to be the teams to look out for. Right out of the gate, though, Subpar Up wasting no time whatsoever. They're being fired with Trizukas from one side of the fence, and the other team also firing Trizukas as well. And it's just really going to be it's just going to really be a hold. They're just waiting for the right opportunities to strike. What I do see right away from the weapons here is we do see the stamp coming out from the wiper that was dished out.
Ooh.
Koreki is out of the picture right away. The second one is down and already neutralized, but they are still holding on to the power up down to the ink mine, which is one of those unfortunate splats you get to see every now and then.
Mhm.
But even so, Tempest Roller Umbrella found the value, which both teams are, by the way, fielding.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see the match kind of go into a fairly neutral state, but Sub Power Up are going to be still holding their advantage, especially in terms of the positions that they're getting in. Honda Squid is still pushed back, and I think with the help of this bubble, does look like they are going to be going for the breaking that barrier open. Two players have gone down here, but I think they're just going to continue getting a key pick here, just staying safe with the Zuka as well. I think was fantastic, and I think it's a great choice also to see the use of the Sorella Tenterbrella from both teams actually, because not only do you have that Zuka to play around with, but that's a fantastic weapon not only to skirmish with and and have that survivability that you really need as a skirmisher, just to initiate those fights as well, to help out the rest of your team be able to hold those forward positions. You can be extremely aggressive with the help of that Umbrella Shield and provide the cover that the rest of your team needs. But those two plays have actually gone down on the side of Sub Power Up, so Honda Squidic are going to find an opportunity to push ahead. We're already seeing Athen really go aggro
Oh,
here to get that barrier open.
yeah. Yeah, the barrier has already been broken open here. We do get to see the first cash in right away. 3 members already down, already pushed way close to their base.
Wow.
The wipeout is already there, and it's already 2 power clams and a whole lot more coming in here shortly. Subpower having to play this one on defense, but Athen wants to say no, deny out of there, as Serum does go down for their efforts. And we do get to see just this Wiper finding so much value right out of the gate. And we do see the nice little stop there. Both Snipe Riders and the Wipers have gone down on top of it. They're still keeping this push alive. It's up to 18 points remaining here. Can they find any more clams? Actually, they don't have any clams left in the tank. And that's going to put a stop to this push. But we do get to see Honda Squidic with a huge lead. So despite the one and done push that Subpower Up had earlier, Honda Squidic will strike with a big push of their own. Trizuka's raining down from the top there, and that's really all it's going to be. So once again, Subpower Up having to play with a big deficit.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, though, however, Honda Squidic did lose a lot of ground when they had to move back, having had run out of all those power clams. Does look like, unfortunately, Sub Power Up is going to be losing their very crucial sharking weapon here that was holding a very aggressive position on their plat. But it does look like, however, they are going to still be moving back in. They haven't lost a huge amount of ground, but Honda Squidic, we can see how slowly they're kind of moving back up, trying to push them out, winning the fights that they really need to win here. Honda Squidic is, I think, just playing a fairly patient game, making sure that they have their support anchor Senkon here, at least being able to slow down any opportunity Sub Power Up is trying to find to come back out. The thing is, Sub Power Up is going to be taking them out with the help with that Zuka here, which is going to be able to create that opening. However, we are in a 2v2 situation. Honda Squidic losing yet another one, so Sub Power Up has got a lot of like an opportunity here. I think that they are going to have to make in order to at least be able to get onto Honda Squidic's plat, but it's going to be coming down to whether they can win the next fight or not.
Yeah, it's going to really boil down to if they can win this next fight and try to make use of their specialty. Just use the bubble there. But already that stamp, again, Athens just going on a mission. And right out of the gate, it is going to be 3 down. Just the Tentasorel Umbrella available on Subpower. And no longer available, right as I spoke them out. And I think that Power Clam is pretty much going to be gone. They have to spawn the other Power Clam that's just available there. Asterum just gets the pick, but without that Power Clam that's available, put it an end to this map. And Honda Squidic strikes first, winning this first map here, Museum Clams.
Damn, that was a fantastic push that Honda Squidic had. I think just being able to know that, you know, with Clam Blitz, once you have that opening to actually make a really long push and you can coordinate that push well enough, you can get it going for pretty much as long as you need to, And even though that I do believe Sub Power Up probably had quite a lot of ground for much of that game, Honda Squidic was just fantastic at being able to shut down the attempts that they were making at pushing. Honda Squidic, I think, being able to sneak that one power clam in. Sub Power Up, unfortunately, did not have the extra clams going into the basket to be able to keep their push going, but you know, it was still fantastic work being able to keep the pressure up on Honda Squidic like that, I think.
And what it boiled down to, Subpar pretty much had early advantages around the plat side on Honda Squidic, but they couldn't really turn that into most of anything. Athen was just on a mission the entire time with that Wiper, just finding so much value with the Ultra Stamp and the Wiper to just build up the space for their team, and that just really kickstarted everything as much as they need to. And then the wipeout from Subpower, and then with Honda Squidic wiping out Subpower Up near their base, it was pretty much spelling the end of everything, basically, for Subpower Up to defend. So we get to see Honda Squidic in action. They're just still continuing to be on fire since their victory in Low Ink August. But of course, they gotta move. But first, they gotta move on to the second map in this playoff 3, which should be Ship Shape Cargo at Splat Zone, specifically in Ship Shape.
Oh yeah, I love Splat Zone Shipshape Cargo Company, and I think Shipshape is probably one of my favorite new maps overall. Not just for Splat Zones, but definitely for Splat Zones, because not only do you have like quite a lot of options to move around the zone, including inkable walls. Inkable walls, oh my goodness, I love them so much. I feel like we've been my heart has been aching for inkable walls until the most recent season came out, and having those in Shipshape Cargo Company, especially allowing you to have that those options to kind of move around the zone, not just like go through it. It's not like a choke point. We don't have a zone like we do on, what's the other one, Undertow Spillway. where everything is kind of like funneled into very tight areas in the zone. Here, even though the zone is it's quite like a small area, and it could potentially be a bit of a choke point, you still have the ability to kind of move around and actually take fights over to the other side by just dropping down. I've seen some incredible plays here where players manage to just drop down from those high ground areas just to clean up any player that they don't want to be around the zone. Looks like already three players have gone down on Honda Squidic here. Sub power up is really playing to move up and to playing that aggressive game here, especially with the drinks coming out right there.
Yeah, we do get to see the drinks coming out from sub power up, and also trying to take full advantage. They take 3 out from Honda Squidic just earlier, so they're able to keep this pressure up. One of the key things I wanted to highlight here between both these teams in terms of their comp: double hero shot replicas and Sorella Tentacles being the dueling Trizuka weapons in general. The cool weapons of choice: N-Zap versus Snipe Rider. The other thing to note, but the big difference is, can they continue to find can Honda Squidic continue to find value with that Wiper with its Ultra Sand versus the Roller, which has that bubbler available from Asterum. But so far, Honda Squidic cannot get out of their base. There's one Trizuka shot, takes off Gamesicle out of the picture, but there's a thing on this Roll's umbrella, and that's Asterum taking out one. And this is a big response from Sub Power Up. You lose the first map in one crucial play. They say, take that to you, Honda Squidic, as Sub Power Up takes the second map, and this set is knotted up 1-1.
Damn, yeah, this is extremely close here. I gotta say, even though Sub Power Up had a very dominant game that time around, I think that also kind of highlights the difference here between being able to have a lot of map control in Clan Blitz and being able to have a lot of map control in Splat zones, is that once you have the zone, you don't really need to do anything except for coordinate your fights and coordinate the space that you're really taking up. You don't have to worry about getting clams to the basket, for example. But I know that like in this case, that really showed Sub Power Up's strengths here. Even not like providing any opening at all, pretty much, for Honda Squidic to actually get the Stamper in there. Not the Stamper, the Ultra Stamp in there to make those plays like we saw, those really aggro plays like we saw in the Clan Blitz game of Museum.
Yeah, and fundamentally, as you mentioned, with the difference between Clan Blitz and Zones, is really how you play around not just the map, but also the map mode, excuse me, but also the map in general. Basically, Subpower pretty much just knew their assignment right away from once they captured that zone, and once they dropped 3 out of Honda Squidic, you just saw all sorts of control, and then there from Subpower Up, Honda Squidic tried to fight back with Trizukas to no avail. They had something that was really close to taking out Esther, which could have popped things a little open, but Subpower Up from start to finish, no problem winning the zones map. They now move on to Manta Maria Tower Control. In playoffs, this is of course a playoffs 3, but now this is a much more important map 3 than anybody really expected. Honda Squidic and Subpower Up, though, I would not be surprised if both teams want to stick to the same weapon choices, because one, Athens been going crazy on the Wiper from the first map, but then second one, it's all Asterum with that Splat Roller. It should be similar.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be. I think we're going to see similar plays, and I do expect that. Hopefully, if they can get their Sorella Tentabrella around that street into those like really tight areas, they can actually help push the fight up there. Because I know that like this map mode can kind of go back and forth a little bit in mid, unless you really get a lot of value out of winning a first fight in the game, and really lock out the other team. It can be a little bit of a tug of war. We are actually seeing just the Sorella Brella, so not the Temperella, coming out from inside of Sub Power this time. So that's an interesting present.
Well, here's the fascinating part. That it must be double inkjet from one team here. Actually, it's gonna be for the context, it's on the green one, that pink color side is gonna be Honda Squidic there. So Honda Squidic actually gonna be dishing out a double inkjet with the Tri-Slosh Devo, Golden Cooler, and a Wiper Deco. So a little bit of flexing really between both teams. Subpower beats the same comp. They go 3 down right away, but they can't really push up this tower whatsoever. Gamesicle's just pretty much there to say no to that one, and then the Tri-Slosh is just trading nonetheless. So both teams really just kind of brawling themselves forward, but it is going to be Honda Squidic that will get the last lap on this push alone, and this will be just a quick lead change. They set up the beacons on the left-hand side for the jumps, but this will be the first checkpoint for Honda Squidic.
Yeah, I think the beacons are definitely going to be crucial to help some very aggressive gameplay that we've been seeing from from Honda Squidic actually, and it's the kind of aggression that I think that we definitely saw in the previous game from Sub Power, but with Honda Squidic being able to have those beacons, I think that's always a great choice just to be able to get those plays in very, very quickly, especially when paired with Tactical. Now, I always thought that beacons and Tactical just go together hand in hand. It's just such a fantastic pairing of sub and special weapons, and I think what we're seeing here is just Ashley absolutely going ham with the help of the ink jets. You can see how much value the chip damage from both of those weapons is going to have. Unfortunately, 3 plays do end up going down pretty much with both sides here, so that lead is going to be still fantastic for Honda Squidic, even if, oh wow, you know, we see the beacons there. They're coming back in. They're keeping that forward aggression.
Beacon is gonna be the key thing here for Honda Squid to just continue to move up ahead. They're just being placed in great locations, and at this point, Sub Power just needs to find a way to respond here. And Sub Power is able to put the stop on this push alone. So Honda Squid is gonna have to retreat here in just a bit, which is just going to give time for Subpar to just basically set up, continue to play aggressive. Senkon is caught on some roller damage there, and that ballpoint is out of the picture. That will be the backline down, and that's a Trizuka that just takes out the Cinderella on top of it. Again, you're now seeing Subpar continue to step on offense, continue to find more value, and Athens down. This is a quick momentum change here as this Trizuka is just being lobbed up forward. They lose 2 in the process, but this bubble should maybe enough to get the second checkpoint, but I don't think they're gonna try to. I don't think they're gonna try to risk it at all. Honda Squidic stops the bleeding from happening, and now we get to see Subpar again trying to engage, but they lose 2 right away. Honda Squidic trying to keep this pressure alive, and that is a wipeout. And this will be Honda Squidic continuing with the push.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was a fantastic wipeout. Honda Squidic managed to get there. Absolutely crucial in getting sub power up. That was a very like threatening the, well, not quite threatening their lead so much, but threatening to really get there. If they managed to keep the momentum up going around into their street, I reckon they definitely could have potentially taken lead there, but I think that Honda Squidic being able to get up onto their bunker and actually collapse around onto the tower pushed them out sufficiently before they could even touch the street. Senkon here is going to be pressured a little bit by that Zuka here, but managing to stay alive in mid, holding a really great position, trying to get a pick there over onto Honda Squidic, but managing to stay alive. Getting a pick on Astrum here, definitely a key player to be watching out for, just to stop that, just to stop that forward momentum that Honda Squidic was trying to get. We are going to last minute, however, so I'm curious to see if there can be a potential lead switch as we are going into a more neutral game at the moment.
And right now, the neutral game is going to play. Now, this is going to continue to favor Honda Squidic as much as possible. So any trade they will take will be a huge win for Honda Squidic here. They do dish out that cooler at this point. They did lose Athen on the Viper Deco, but it is going to just be 1 down. That isn't going to mean a whole lot there. As right now, the members are just dropping left and right. The aggression is just so deep from the side of Cash, who's just went off on a mission with the Sorella Umbrella, before going down. But the Tri-Slosher in particular set themselves up for position. Now, Subpar needs to win this fight with about 11 seconds left to go on the clock. They're still just trading. This is still continuing to favor Honda Squidic here. Cashman is still deep into their territory. All they need to do is touch the tower. Someone will need to do just that, but it looks like that will be the case. We're going to be coming into overtime. Now, this is going to be a crucial time for Subpar to strike big, but they jump at the worst time, and that splat says it all. Honda Squidic will win this set 2-1 over Subpar to kick off Swimmer Sing.
Oh damn, that was a impressive overtime, being able to get them actually get into overtime as well, with the amount of forward momentum, with the amount of like in-your-face beacons that Honda Squidic had in that game. It was fantastic to see at least that overtime being triggered here. But you know, Honda Squidic was there ready and waiting. They knew exactly where the tower was going to go, because you know, tower's got a set path, and if you can get the tower rider off the tower and just like be able to sit on it at the very end to prevent that overtime from getting anywhere for sub power, and that's what you got to do. And Honda Squidic was there ready and waiting. They had the ability to pretty much jump back in wherever they wanted, and they knew exactly how this map was going to play, how like exactly where to position to be able to get the most value out of collapsing onto sub power up whenever they were trying to push especially around those kind of areas of the map, those kind of slightly more choke pointy areas, especially. Um, so I think that's definitely what stopped Sub Power Up get to that first get through that checkpoint the first time around. And once again in overtime, we saw a similar kind of thing. It was just like being able to ride out of that like very tight small area into the middle of the map, which Honda Squidic, they were just there. As I said, they were there ready and waiting. They knew that they just had to collapse around the tower there in that point as well.
And the big thing with that push, by the way, from Honda Squid that sets up the winning push. Subhara just could not locate the beacons. That's really the best way to phrase it because the
Hmm.
where the beacons were placed pretty much allowed Honda Squid to continue being aggressive as much as they can. Now, now Subhara definitely tried to find ways to work around those beacons, try to see if they can keep up with that aggression. We saw Subhara, they stick with the same comp. Honda Squid just went full change across the board. What's at this point they went inkjet for days, and at that point in time it was just like, you know what, it's going to work better for man to tower control if anything, and it kind of
Hmm.
pretty much showed right there. No problem whatsoever for Honda Squidic, and that's kind of how we see Honda Squidic in winning clan blitz and tower control in this setup. Subpar only winning zones, but I mean that was a very fun set to watch between these two teams.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was great to see both these teams, and I have to say, Sub Power Up being able to take such a dominant game too as well. That was like kind of amazing as well. Honda Squidic almost not being able to break out of there. However, we are going to be going to round two next. Are we going on a bit of a break, or I think,
But
or are we going straight into it?
we'll go ahead and cut to break while they get that all squared away. So when we come back, round two will be coming up here in Swimmer Sync 128. So you don't want to miss a thing. Stay tuned.
And welcome back, everyone, to Swim Sync number 128. I'm Lily, and I'm here with Kion, and we're going to be launching into round 2 in a second.
Yeah, round two coming up here is gonna be Angie Dragapult versus Unlucky. I hope that's not actually what your team mantra is. If
Mm-hmm.
you're unlucky, I'd say you need to be more lucky. Let's say.
Yeah,
Jokes
absolutely.
jokes aside, we got ourselves a matchup here between these two teams. Not necessarily too familiar. Not sure if you are familiar with them as well, Lily.
I'm not too familiar with them, but I'm curious to see. So I'm not really sure exactly what to expect here, but I'm definitely excited to see these two teams play against each other nonetheless. What we definitely saw in the last set was something very, very close. So I'm not sure considering what we saw also with the kind of meta that we were seeing regarding the double Zuka weapons. I do expect we'll probably be seeing more Zuka, perhaps some Angie dragapulting or catapulting Zukas as well, and you'd have to be very unlucky to be wiped out by something like that. So I hope there is no bad luck for either of these teams regarding those Zukas, because Zukas can kind of change the momentum. They can change the tide of an entire push, I think.
Absolutely. With the current meta being the way it is, where you kind of need to have a Trizuka in most cases, unless you could have a playstyle that works really well for you.
Hmm.
It's one of those weapons where that it could pretty much change the tides, as you mentioned, of a game, depending on which map we're going with. Now, just for context, for those who are tuning in, the first map that both teams should be expecting will be Humpback Pump Track Rainmaker. But before we get to that point, though, I want to highlight here both teams record wise. So in their respective groups, both teams are 1-0 so
Hmm.
far, with Dragapult getting a 3-0, and then Unlucky getting a 2-1, if I'm not mistaken. So that's where we stand record wise. Both teams wasting no time at all. We are going to be going into Humpback Pump Track Rainmaker for this particular matchup. And as we do see, Unlucky is going to be on the orange side, and then it will be Angie Dragapult on purple side. I look at the weapons now, and I start to see, well, we got dueling splatter shots and dueling NZAPs. Everything else is a little fascinating to see.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing a little bit more range come out from the side of, I believe, Unlucky with the help of that Stamper. That's really going to be crucial in terms of kind of throwing a bit of damage, bit of chip damage over the bunker, over like the window area as well. Already we're going to be seeing Angie Daggerbolt's aggressive inkjet here being able to take out that Stamper. I didn't see what I meant Stamper. So that's going to definitely be helping them get that first checkpoint. We see how far back Unlucky is pushed at the moment, as they're already going to try and pop that Rainmaker shield once again. However, here Arm is going to be doing everything they can to try and hold them back. And that's the thing you really want to be doing with your Stamper. You want to be able to keep those players at a distance to help out your Slayers to be able to kind of like move in and finish them off.
Yeah, and right away they're going to pick up this Rainmaker to boot it. You definitely want to give your space for the Slayers to do a whole lot. But Flying Zipcaster
Oh, my
had
goodness.
other things to say before, well, getting shut down nevertheless. But either way, though, this Rainmaker is going to be staying in its place. Alice goes and picks up this Rainmaker, the Trizuka. You highlighted there earlier, Lily, where that Trizuka is going to mean a whole lot in terms of how your team ends up, and that is 7 points remaining thanks to the find. And can Unlucky get this Rainmaker out of there? There is the trade, and that is a crucial trade to keep this Rainmaker here in its path. And I don't think there's going to be any chance for Angie Dragapult to go ahead and pick up this Rainmaker. That is such a strong push though for Angie Dragapult. Unlucky has a mountain to climb.
Yeah, they're in a bit of an unlucky position, I think, but they are definitely going to. They definitely have what it takes, I think, to break out, especially with the help of this inkjet there. But we're seeing Dev here on the side of Angie Dragapult just being able to hold that area around where the Stamper is, knowing that the Stamper's kind of been peeking out of there fairly frequently, managing to get a pick from them, of course, while the rest of the teams will kind of like move around the other side. But with that other pick, that is going to be a wipeout here. And they already have the tactical set up just to continue that push. They have all of their straight here painted up. So it's just going to be whether Unlucky can kind of bomb them out at this point, which is what I think we're going to see them attempt to do.
Yeah, we're gonna see another push from Angry Dragapult. They get the first wipe out away, and they get 2 more, and that's 3. It's just a lone Inkjet that needs to fire at the Rainmaker. They almost are firing all the shots, and these are clutch shots from the Inkjet. Aster comes out huge for Unlucky to at least stop the KO from happening. They lose 3 right away, and Unlucky did a great job at least stopping that entirely. As you do see multiple members still going down on this defense there. Alice is the one that is still in decent position, but they're just trying to protect this Rainmaker here. Make sure it doesn't get picked up by a rogue Angry Dragapult that might be trying to lurk right in. They're trying to move right up there quickly, and they are out of time. Rainmaker's back to mid. What looked like a very strong push from Angry Dragapult, stopped by a clutch Inkjet from Master, but again, Unlucky is still in the same situation. They still have a lot to go, but they got 2 specials, an Inkjet, and a crew ready to go whenever they need it.
Yeah, so you're talking about like those people who might be lurking around, just like sheltering underneath ledges and stuff. That's definitely what your Angry Dragapult, that's definitely what your Octopus would be doing. And once they actually manage to make their plays known, like make their presence known, we saw how unlucky was there regarding like them trying to get rid of that Octopus for so long, and which provided the opening for Angry Dragapult once again to kind of push that Rainmaker back to where it was earlier on in the game. But you know, Angry Dragapult have gone 2 plays down at the moment, and Unlucky have already actually, for the first time this game, being able to push past mid, which is definitely great to see. And we can see them get their first points going into this final minute, but they have to be able to get almost the knockout if they want to win this.
Yeah, it needs to be KO territory, effectively speaking. And Alice was just trying to find anything to stop this check from being broken. But there's still plenty of time for Unlucky. Now, what they got going for them so far, other than the Trizuka that's being fired here, is the fact that they've had some really strong positions at this point. But they ran into the buzzsaw. That was the multiple Trizukas just waiting in the wings. Cody was just there waiting for that to happen, and they get the wipeout. Now, for Angry Dragapult, they are trying to make this push happen. This is a very interesting decision here, but I think this decision may pay off. As Unlucky loses 2 right away. They're trying to push up. They're trying to push his Rainmaker up. If anything, close into their own territory. On Unlucky's side, they get the stop at the very least. The ballpoint gets another clutch stop there. 2 members have gone down near the front line. And again, Atticus picks up this Rainmaker. This might be a little early time here as they lose 3. It's just the lone Rainmaker that's only alive for Atticus, trying to keep themselves alive. But they only have 49 seconds to make it to 7 points remaining. Trying to dodge all of the bombs and all of the inkjet shots along the way. The ballpoint does go down. They got the shot up there, but again, their time is still ticking down one by one, and the Octobrush has put an end to that. And Angry Dragapult takes this all the way home to start the set 1-0.
It was that Octobrush once again just being in that position to get those clutch picks, and honestly to get that Rainmaker out at the end of the match as well. We saw earlier on in the game how when it was towards that final push that Angry Dragapult was making, the Octopus was just there shocking right underneath Unlucky spawn there, and we could see them desperately try and pick them off and try and move their ballpoint into position where they can actually see the Octobrush there. But I think when it became time for Angry Dragapult to actually make the final push, finally the Octobrush kind of came out of its shell there, came out of its hiding spot, and got some very, very good picks, and to help get that 3-down situation, that wipeout that we saw. But going into that final minute as well, I think was pretty impressive how Unlucky was able to actually push past mid and actually get that first checkpoint down as well. They were prepared to keep it going as well, but they were shut off by the Zukas, as you mentioned.
The Zuka was just lurking at that point. It was just all the special. You just need to throw them all right down the alleyway, and then pretty much put an end to it. Again, because it's pretty much just a straight shot from the Rainmaker for the first checkpoint all the way to the second. It's just grand pickings for the Trizuka to just find one after the other, then after the other. So that's kind of where that's how Angry Dragapult wins this first map. Now, again, for those tuning in, the map set is actually the round 1 map set. So the round 2 map set, it's actually going to be Clan Blitz on Crab Lake Capital for the second one. The third one we'll be picking up here is Splat Zones on Barnacle and Dime. So just giving you guys a quick heads up on that. But here for the second round though, I like how Angry Dragapult has played that one so far. Yes, things were a little shaky at the end, so I'd like to see if they can clean all that up coming into the second map here on Clan Blitz on Crab Leg.
Yeah, they did manage to get a lot of momentum going into that final minute, and I think something like Clam Blitz, especially Hume Crab Lake Capital, where you have so many options to kind of move around the map, and make use of the great thinkable walls, of course. You know what? Actually, this is like one of the Zuka maps I find, because it's just so useful to be able to get people off those high ground areas, especially if they're trying to make use of those grates as like an anchor, or if you're like trying to push back in as well, and that can be a great tool to actually push the defending team back as well, to continue pushes going, because on Clan Blitz you're definitely at a very big disadvantage, I have to say, if you're the team that is trying to score clams into the basket, because you're kind of distracted from being able to fight. It's very different from what you're going to be doing as a team in the other modes, especially Splat Zones. It's almost the exact opposite. I tend to think anyway. So being able to coordinate those really big pushes, absolutely crucial to keep the other team down as much as you possibly can as well. And having the Zukas, especially from both of these teams just from the previous game, I think is going to be absolutely crucial to be doing that.
Well, we queuing up to this second one. I took a pause there because I just saw two backline weapons, or anger weapons, if you will. For this one, Devs is on the splatter shot scope, which I don't normally see Inkback set up that often nowadays, at least for in the context of Clan Blitz. And then we got an E leader on the side of Unlucky, so this is good. Or on the side of Unlucky, yes. For that note, so that's relatively big changes to note there. Lily, I'm gonna be curious to see if those long range changes are gonna probably mean a whole lot there for either team. As you do see the bird, by the way, broken. Look at the tanky Dragapult that gets the first push. That's really all it's gonna be right away. It's just with a one and done push. Nevertheless, not much to go off of. So it will be the free power climb that's available for Unlucky if they can take advantage. But back to my point here, Lily. The long-range choices, I think I had liked it, like in the context of Crab Leg, but I'm not sure if you do as well.
Yeah, okay, they're interesting choices, I think, and I think having the greats, of course, you can position really well. That you have the ability, of course, to shoot through them as well. But I think what's definitely going to be something they have to watch out for, the Zipcaster and Zuka, because we do see those specials on both teams, and they can really be annoying for a backline, because they're constantly going to be pelting around the back. We can already see the Zipcaster coming out, just trying to make some space there, but they've already gone down, and Astley has already got a pick there to help open up the clam basket as well, jumping back to spawn just to be able to stay alive and to provide that opening as well with the help of those picks before for Unlucky to actually start moving back in and continue their score. Hasn't been a very long score, a very big score, but still they did manage to get lead there. I want to see them to be able to get those even bigger pushes going though.
But yeah, you say you want to see some bigger pushes. Both teams are deciding to say, well, let's just go back and forth with each push that they can. Already one power claim in, and then it's just another plus one on top. Really no big ground to say the least, though, for a major push to even know. What I did see from Unlucky, though, they tried to use the two power clams to try to get those cashed in. You got to saw the E leader earlier just try to throw that power clam in, if anything, either for the assist or to get that catch up. It just fell a little bit short of the barrier. That's the reason why it's only just the 77 points instead of something that could be much bigger than that. So I'd like to see if Unlucky has a chance to strike. We do see Orenji trying to see if they can lurk there. Just more sharking, actually, just waiting to see if Orenji is ready to pop out and strike once more. But it looks like that's just more or less patient play. Both teams just have a power clan that is available. There is two down on the side of Unlucky, but this may not be the push they need quite yet. They may be looking to find some more picks or some more fights to win.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think that what they definitely need to be doing here is just be able to find the advantage they need in this, at least in terms of map control, in order to start moving everything forward. Because if you get your opponents back into the corner here, then you definitely have a very big advantage in terms of being able to win those fights. We're actually seeing the impact come out, which also helps with fights. We see the tactical as well is also going to be helping out with survivability, moving around to be able to quickly get those big pushes in. I think initiating with that ink back as well was definitely interesting in terms of being able to protect anyone from pushing forward. Incredible push, however, all the way down to 2, but that was going to be a wipeout that's going to be stopping that.
Yeah, I was about to know, when was that last plan going to be tossed in from Angie Dragapult, but it was just not there, not anymore. And that's what ended up happening there. I did like the ink back usage, but and I definitely see where they were trying to go with this ink back. If anything, try to help assist with the rest of the clans to move forward, give themselves that open space there to keep moving up and make sure that the ball carrier is still hanging on to it. We're down to about 1:05 left on the clock, and Unlucky once again is having to play from a huge deficit once more. As we saw in the previous map, there are only 7 points remaining for an Angry Dragapult for Rainmaker. It's going to be the same idea, except now they got to deal with multiple clams in tow. With 50 seconds left, can they find any value? They got the Zip Caster ready to go. Auto rushes in, trying to see if they can find value. The Stamper goes down at the very least. That's all it's going to be by the end of it, and they can't push themselves up any further here. Lily, 35 seconds left. Let's see what they can find.
Yeah, I think Angry Dragapult actually going to be playing a very aggressive final push there, just being able to break the barrier to stop any overtime from being triggered as well. Because if you've got such a strong lead like that as well, you just want to make sure that you're safe with it. Because I feel like in Clan Blitz, overtime is more guaranteed than not, because the amount of opportunities you have to actually get to push are kind of few and far between. They don't happen a lot of the time. You do have quite a lot of team fights you have to get through in order to get any clams into those baskets as well. But I think that was absolutely fantastic to see such a dominant push from Angie Dragapult all the way down to 2. Couldn't necessarily see when they were going to be getting the last one in, but in the end, they didn't really have to do anything except get a power climb in to stop overtime.
Well, they didn't even make it overtime. They actually got the 2 power clams in for the KO.
Hmm.
It was even more than just that. There was like around 30 seconds and change
Hmm.
at that point. So we didn't even see the overtime flash. So Angie
Yeah,
Dragapult
yeah,
had a
true.
lot of power clams that was just ready to go on that jump, and Unlucky just didn't have anything to stop them. They had to
Hmm.
crawl from a huge deficit, but they left such an opening for Angie Dragapult to strike big. So that's what ended up happening there. Angie Dragapult able to take that one home, and you wanted the big push to happen. It happened with 2 points left to go on the clock. 2 points left to go. Excuse me, not on the clock, but
Hmm.
on the scoreboard. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure,
we
for sure.
we end Clam Blitz on Crab Lake Capital, so it will be 2-0, but it is playoff 3, so it's salvage mode for Unlucky. See what ends up happening. We move on to Zones on Barnacle and Dime for the next map.
Zen's and Barnacle and Dime can be very lockout heavy, and I think that what you're really going to be playing towards is holding the space ahead. And I compare what you have to do to push into pamphlets and what you have to do to push in zones a lot as being like pretty much
Huh.
the two polar opposites in my opinion. But we're actually seeing Atticus come out with the Junior, which is not a weapon that I see very often, but like as a former junior player, I definitely love seeing it. We're also seeing the blob deco as well coming out on the other side, which I think is going to be very interesting in terms of being able to, especially with the Kraken as we're seeing come out at the moment, try and get some aggro picks here. But speaking of aggro, that incredible triple that just came out of Arm on the Stamper there, looking for the final one as well, who ends up falling into the water, preventing that quad from happening. But that was basically a quad that we saw there. This is where they're going to be having that very, very dominant position. And it's going to come down to how you can actually break out of a potential knockout here.
Well, and I'll give them credit for the quad, but I'll say it's a 3+ in environmental splat at the very least. Maybe ultimately trying to deny the quad from happening, not giving them the satisfaction there. But this is actually now a very different team we're seeing from Unlucky as they get the zone. As I want to make note, as you mentioned, the Junior is still alive. They're 3 down by the way on Unlucky. Could this be the wipeout that we'd be seeing for Angie Dragapult? Not quite yet, but that 3 down is enough for them to get the zone. So Angie Dragapult has been blocked deck with the Kraken and the E-Leader, by the way, as well. So they got mid to back climb protection at the very least. They keep pushing forward. The other side, by the way, Angie Dragapult dishing out the Sniper Rider for their cooler weapon of choice. So I'd like to see how this one works out. But they're down to 59 seconds left on the clock. The Trizuka takes out one at the very least. Orenji strikes with the Trizuka. That is actually going to be enough control there for Angry Dragapult to at least get the lead. Excuse me, as we do see 2-for-2 trade, and it looks like by the end of it, the zone's stuck in neutral, and that will be unlucky, I believe, getting the zones back on that side. Yes, it will be unlucky with this one. By the way, unlucky on the orange color side for those to keep note there. So they got to get out of those penalty points here, Lily, but still nicely for Angry Dragapult.
Yeah, also I think having a pencil definitely be helping them to move back in, paint the zone, of course, to provide those tacticals that they are going to be making use of next time tacticals do come out. However, but we are going to be seeing the lead switch once again into the favor of Angry Dragapult, but only a very small lead this time around, as as actually Angry Dragapult rather is already pushed quite far up into Unlucky's side of the map here, keeping those players down. They really want to be keeping Unlucky into the stagger feed loop towards the final half of this game if they really want to be able to get like a dominant finish here. And they're nearly out of penalty points as well, but they're also nearly out of players, even though they did manage to take the lead there. It's going to be whether they can actually move back in and capitalize off that lead, but you know what, Unlucky are already capitalizing off those 3-play down situations, getting a great pick on Aster as well. I believe Angry Dragapult is going to be coming back in very strong, just holding this probably right up until the very end. I expect that they're looking for a knockout at this moment.
Well, but they got the knockout anyway, and Dev has the E leader. They're just pretty much planted in position. No chance whatsoever for Unlucky to strike big. Angry Dragapult ends up winning this one 3-0 to wrap up this second set, and it was pretty much swinging back and forth, but Angry Dragapult takes it home.
Absolutely, and that was a little bit more back and forth. I felt in terms of just being able to get those lead switches happening throughout that game. But you know, Angry Dragapult in the end, being able to get, I believe, being able to get into some more aggressive positions than Unlucky had been able to get into. But it was also great to see. I think. The junior there to be able to stay alive, also have the bubble in the zone just to help protect that zone from being capped too often as well. I do love seeing I do love seeing the junior come out, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually liked some of the changes that Unlucky tried to do, where they had the cooler weapon that was pretty much ready to go along, with the sniper and the V Junior as well. The concept was pretty much there, but they were just
Hmm.
pretty much I think all the aggression from Angry Dragapult to take it home and just win some of those fights pretty much told the entire story on Barnacle and Dime zones. So by the end of it though, across the three maps we saw from Humpback Pump Track Rainmaker, where it was a very dominant first push. Clan Blitz, just several big pushes alone to take out that one. I think we got to see a showcase of what Angry Dragapult could actually do in that set. Yes, the last map was a little bit more back and forth. Unlucky looked like they were back in the driver's seat once again to get a comeback, but
Hmm.
didn't happen there. Angry Dragapult was able to take this one home.
Yeah, I think actually, even though that they did get wiped out when or almost wiped out. I think 3 players went down also when they managed to get that final lead switch. The thing is, they're able to actually just swim back up and continue holding the zone for that much longer and slowly like move their positioning forward. And I think if you don't necessarily if you're not able to capitalize off those numbers down situations, even though it's such a small opening, especially here on Barnacle and Dime zones, to actually make the most of those player down situations where you really want to be able to push back in like efficiently, effectively, but like not too aggressively and not make any like too many rash decisions. You can definitely make it more difficult for a team that's trying to respawn back in. But you know, I think Angry Dragapult just really knew how to move back in, and they knew that okay, we went 3 plays down here, but we were far enough ahead, and we had so much paint on the other side of the map that it's going to slow down the defending team sufficiently that they can get back and take control of the zone and move back into fairly aggressive positions that they were able to take going into that final push.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, Maggie Dragapult will take this one home, 3-0 to wrap up the second set. Round three will be coming up here shortly, as both teams are, as everybody else is trying to iron out their second set. So we'll go ahead and cut to break here. So when we come back, round three of Nessie's pools, you don't want to miss a thing, and stay tuned for further action. Welcome back, everybody, to Swimmer Sync 128. Last round of pools to kick things up. So we'll be determining which teams go to Great White Brackets, Hammerhead, and what not. Once again, I'm
Mm-hmm.
Kyon. Once as always, Lily joins me on the mic. Forgotten and Los Inklings is the matchup for this third map here on third set, excuse me, on stream. This should be an exciting one.
Yeah, this absolutely should be. I'm looking forward to these two teams play one another. I just want to also see, hang on, how things are going regarding Nessie's pools as well, because you did say this is going to be the last of Nessie's pools, and the way this tends to go is that like whoever wins like the most amount of sets will be moving on to Great White, which will be streaming after this set as well. Does look like we are seeing actually in terms of teams that we've seen previously in the stream, Honda Squidic has already looks like they may be ready to go into Great White up against. It depends whether Honda Squidic or Half Life can win sufficiently enough games. We are, however, going to be going into this set between these two teams. However, so I'm curious to see who's going to be coming out on top here.
Yeah, for sure. So once again, for those tuning in, so this is the third set of maps here. Actually, the first map that both teams will be queuing up is actually going to be on Hagglefish Market Tower Control for those who are keeping track. So actually, I think both teams have decided to ready up and say, yeah, we're already ready to go. No problem whatsoever. So let's see what ends up happening here. Forgotten's on the blue-colored side. Los Inklings is on yellow. And as we take a look at the weapons that we see on both teams, it's pretty much the standard fare. Both teams have a double Trizuka cooler comp in some variety. Teresa has the vanilla heavy splatling, with the wave breaker, and then it's the tri-stringer, the weapon you don't normally see every day on the hands of Forgotten with that killer whale, of course.
Yeah, the whale is gonna be great, and at least annoying the backline just that little bit extra on the side of Los Inklings. But also the other thing about having a tri-stringer as well is that it paints extraordinarily well. Not necessarily like straight lines of paint necessarily, but you can get quite a lot of paint out onto the ground here. It does look like we are seeing these fights kind of break out, please going down either side, but Forgotten is kind of being held back here a little bit as Los Inklings respawning, coming back into the game. They're gonna have to try and defend Los Inklings push here as Zoo comes out and they do start to ride the tower.
Yeah, we really get to see the Zukas being dished out here from the while the tower is being pushed. As we do see multiple members, by the way, down on Los Inklings, and this pretty much will spell an end to the push. In fact, this could be a little bit more for Forgotten as they take out 3 from Los Inklings here. So this push will continue on. We're going to be seeing a lead change here. So at this point, can Forgotten break through the first checkpoint and then more? They got 3 specials they can use. Killer being used up here to help displace the rest of Los Inklings. And the Trizuka gets, I think one, maybe actually it might have been a missed shot, but either way, that's 3 down. And the Tri-Stinger goes down. The Tower Rider is gone. And that will delay the push just a tiny bit, if anything. But can they actually get way more? Actually, will this even be the first checkpoint? It will not. They do not get the first checkpoint out of this. 2 members are down from the Forgotten. Los Inklings with a nice stop there. They stop there, but more importantly, the first checkpoint wasn't broken for Forgotten.
Yeah, absolutely. That first checkpoint, however, Los Inklings is starting to lose players once again as Forgotten is getting ready to push up ahead, especially seeing how the umbrella shield is kind of coming out just to try and initiate something. Does look like they'll push back. The thing is, I do think at least if they can get someone out, keeping an eye on those flanks there, I think is absolutely going to be crucial for Forgotten in terms of being able to at least keep their players up to continue their push. They did go down to 6-3, haven't quite cleared that checkpoint, but once you do clear that checkpoint, you've just got to be wiping out. Oh, well, not necessarily even wiping out. You just got to be clearing out any. Well, speaking of wiping out, that's the wipeout. You just got to be clearing whoever's going to be getting into those defensive positions up in that 10, and that's what they're looking for here at the moment. We're seeing Bazooka trying to take them out once again, and they just have to hide behind cover at this moment, just waiting for the right moment to be able to push them back off the tower.
Yeah, still continues to truck right along. They may actually this might be another stop here for Los Inklings as they go multiple members out of the picture. A very bold maneuver here from Kronos on Forgotten 10, actually still being on the tower, actually with a nifty move, and even takes out one. That was beautiful, but the Lieutenant Umbrella finally goes down for their crimes. And if anything happens there for Forgotten, they at least get past the first checkpoint, but that's really all it's going to be. Los Inklings at least have done a good job on defense, able to put a stop to some Forgotten's push for a good chunk of it. But again, for Forgotten, they need to get a much more sustained push if they want to have a chance to fight back. You saw Los Inklings; they are clamping down on defense at each avenue wherever they go. We do see the Trizuka from Forgotten trying to see if they can get one member out of the picture, and it doesn't look like that would be the case. In fact, the shot actually goes down on a Trizuka that's happening on the other side of the map, and that will be 2 down. Los Inklings might have built themselves a space needed to get this push started.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be pretty good for Los Inklings here in terms of being able to continue with the help of that Zuka. But those bombs that we saw just come out there, and also the umbrella just making sure that they are attacking that tower just to force them back off, is going to be preventing that push from going any further. And 2 players on Los Inklings have gone down. There's the shot down as well. This is just going to be them like losing all the ground that they had worked so hard to take up there, as Forgotten has so quickly been able to push far up ahead and keep those players in Lost Inklings all the way down. We see like a delayed wipe here happening as Forgotten is just pushing far ahead. Getting that trade there, which I think is going to be still an okay trade to have, of course, especially when Los Inklings is 3 players down once again.
Yeah, 3 players down once again from Los Inklings. As Forgotten is just winding their way through. This is gonna be the 3rd checkpoint, broken for sure, but they don't get any more than that. But Los Inklings, that tower is stuck way deep into their territory, so they gotta win multiple fights and get all the space they can in this last-ditch attempt at a push. What they got going for them right now, is that they got the cooler, which they just dished out right near the tower, and the Trizuka way in the wings, so they gotta see if they can find value right away. That Trisoster has to find stuff. Hammy is just trying to work through, trying to see if they can find any value. That's one of the members down on Los Inklings. That's one of the shots. The Hero Shot Replica is down. The Trizuka is being fired in all sorts of directions. That's 3 members down, and Hammy's the one on the tower, but I don't think Hammy can do a whole lot here to save this push. Not anymore. Forgotten stops the attempted push here from Los Inklings to crawl all the way back, and Forgotten will take this first map home to kick off this 3rd round.
Absolutely, and I think that first match, even though Forgotten is going to win that, I don't think that is a match to be forgotten by Los Inklings, at least, because they're going to have to remember exactly what Forgotten has been doing in order to like take up space so quickly throughout that match as well. Something that Los Inklings, unfortunately, we saw them go into quite a fair bit was those like 3 play down situations, or every time they try to move back in. I just don't think they had had as many members with them to be able to really win those fights. We saw quite a lot of those flanks to try and get something from happening, but I think Forgotten was just kind of being able to read them and shut those down very, very quickly.
For sure. Forgotten basically had a lot of those moments where they basically were just building up all the space that they can in the world in order to keep that tower push ahead. Again, I got to give a lot of credit to Los Inklings though. At the end of
Hmm.
at the end of the day, they clamped down on defense when they really needed to, but of course they just couldn't turn that around and put it against Forgotten's favor each time. Anytime they try to get a push kickstarted, Forgotten was just right there. They're right there, just winning a lot of those fights through. And again, the Trizuka just building up so much value right away. Even just some of the nifty footwork we saw from Forgotten from the Tri-Stringer, from the
Mm.
Tri-Stringer and other and whatnot, just trying to getting all that value down. Forgotten just did a great job of doing just that. So we finished the first map here in Tower Control and Hagelfish Market. The next one actually is going to be Rainmaker on Scorch Gorge, which that can be a little bit brawly, a bit of a mosh pit that can happen around mid. So I want to see how both teams adjust to it.
Yeah, even though there are call outs here called pit, that mosh pit that you mentioned, it can be a bit of a brawl in the middle of the map. Actually, around the checkpoint as well can be a very big brawl because everything is kind of concentrated into those small areas. Um, not just that like opening fight, which is absolutely crucial to watch out for and crucial to win to start moving the tower, not moving the tower, moving the Rainmaker to that first checkpoint, of course. Um, but every time you get more points after that first checkpoint, it just becomes so difficult to actually take it to the very end because of how far back into the base that that final checkpoint is for knockout. But I'm curious to see if either of these teams are able to do it, because you know, I do think that we can see like once you have that first checkpoint, you're not necessarily safe if the other team can get that first checkpoint down as well, and then some more points as well, because it can be a little bit difficult to kind of make a comeback from that as well.
Yeah, we see both teams loading in here. Well, let's see what the weapons they have going on, and actually a fundamental change actually on the side of Los Inklings here. They actually are going to be doing the same double try Zuka, but it's actually going to be the Card and Roller Deco to boot. And the fourth weapon they put on this slot is going to be the ballpoint Splatling. So you got the Inkjet, basically shades of previous patches ago. So I actually really like this change overall, trying to take advantage of the Inkjet to get picks from from areas where you normally wouldn't be able to with some of the weapons that they have. So so I'm actually kind of liking this change from Los Inklings, and I think they're sticking to pretty much the same comp they did from the first map. So not a lot to note there than the Swell Thunderbolt just moving large. So they do got double Trizukas ready to go as they do fire that first shot, takes out the zap right away, but that's all it's gonna be. It's just gonna be a bit of a pretty much a bit of a brawl really across the board, as we do see multiple going up. That's not really going to amount to too much right now. Both teams kind of stuck into a semi-neutral state there until I just said that. I had to speak, and they're taking the spicy path onto the left-hand side over the grates and onto the bridge. They are 2 down though. They might be pressing their luck a little too much, and now they're saying, no, let's go the other direction. But they do lose the Rainmaker by the end of it, Lily. A little bit of indecision, or pretty much recognizing they can't really push that left-hand side anymore with the way they lost members.
Oh yeah, it looked like they almost had a free pathway forward there. But I think having the Stringer just coming out of this little hiding spot there and putting down that Toxic Mist was just going to make it that much more difficult for them to be able to take it that way, and it was not going to be worth it at all. And you know, having lost members as well, did look like that was a push that was kind of a little bit doomed to fail, unfortunately. But they are going to be doing everything they can at the moment just to try and retain the space they had in mid. But I think Forgotten here is actually doing a really fantastic job of being able to have mid painted up as the game has gone back to neutral once again. It does look like, however, that Los Inklings is going to get that range properly. 2 players down. They just want to be able to find some more. They can get Kronos out of the game here in order to start making this push forward back to that first checkpoint. It does look like they do get taken out by the Zuki here before they manage to make it, however, but they are very close and have a lot of control around this. But 2 players have gone down here, and also the Tri-Stringer popping that Killer Whale once again is just going to be holding back even further, giving a free opening actually for Forgotten to pick up the Rainmaker and start moving ahead.
Yeah, Forgotten's going to just go ahead and pick up the Rainmaker a little bit, take the answer, but then lurking Card Roller Deco just flanked them from behind, took out 2 members on top of it. That actually stops the Rainmaker push by a lot. Just a great flank overall from the Deco, just trying to get so much value out of it this one. We do see Kronos trying to fire with that Trizuka to take out the Ancient, not able to be successful whatsoever on that one, but they are able to get them back on the recall, and we do see possibly the first checkpoint being broken here as Forgotten's trying to paint around this pedestal. Los Inklings throwing all the bombs there to prevent that from happening, but they go 2 down to boot, and this will not be the checkpoint. What is that Trizuka shot from range? That was just enough to stop it, and this Rainmaker is kind of just stuck where it stands. They did lose the lead though, but that Trizuka stop there may have been enough to stall them out a little further. It's just the first checkpoint here, Lily, but nevertheless, it's the lead for Forgotten.
Yeah, that's right, John. It is only a 2-point lead, however, so if Los Inklings can actually get that checkpoint, things are going to definitely be looking up for them, because that will give them a huge advantage to start pushing downhill into the other team's face as well. Even if it isn't going to perhaps necessarily be a knockout, this that roller going forward like that, unfortunately losing players at the same time, did look like they were trying to be able to create an opening there, but I don't think that was really quite going to be enough for their team, as Forgotten pretty much once again kind of had that reading and being able to get that wipeout as well, and being able to pick the Rainmaker up during the last 40 seconds. They are losing a couple of plays, however, so they just have to be safe here, holding this Rainmaker. They might be going down. It does look like they do go down with the Rainmaker, but dropping it down to that pit as well is just going to be making it that much more difficult for Los Inklings to try and push it up ahead.
What Los Inklings at least has going for them right now, said it's just the first checkpoint, if anything, from Forgotten. They did not even move even a little further ahead. So if Los Inklings actually puts a stop there, actually the Rainmaker actually was picked up there and then stopped once again. Actually, it's forced to reset, if anything. So Rainmaker's back to mid. Does Los Inklings actually have overtime? They gotta pick up this Rainmaker right now. They do just that, but the Trizuka from range shuts that idea down. That was clutch overall, and Forgotten wins the second map off the back of that amazing Trizuka find there in the final minutes.
Damn, that was an amazing Trizuka. It was great to see. Actually, that was a really interesting game. I have to say. The first checkpoint, right? I was talking about like before the match started how breaking that first checkpoint can be pretty crucial in terms of being able to either get like a really strong advantage for your team in order to get those extra points out of the first checkpoint, even if getting a knockout is going to be very difficult here on this map. But you also mentioned it can be an absolute like mush pit in the middle of the map, and we saw just like a number of brawls break out there that just shut down any attempts at pushes. And when there were attempts at pushes, both teams kind of ended up with players like having to respawn as well, just like making them like putting them on the back foot and allowing the defending side to actually like play very aggressively and just take out the Rainmaker, knowing that it's safe to do so.
And this is actually not, at least from the prior experiences I've seen, not your typical Rainmaker result either, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times when you see that first checkpoint be broken, that could be a lot more points, because your team then sets up around sets up around the checkpoint thing, tries to basically push for even more points up ahead. You get to see just the first checkpoint, then maybe like 5 or 10 seconds later, boom, even more points out of the board. I give
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
again
yeah.
the same credit to Los Inklings here, even though it was a losing matchup. Losing match at the end of the day. They get the stop around the first checkpoint, which gave them basically the wiggle room needed to basically get the first checkpoint and then just enough to take lead. And then, of course, the Trizuka just spells the end of all that by the end of it. So,
Yep.
I mean, again, Los Inklings has been able to put the brakes on Forgotten's offense. They just need to create offense of their own. The one time to do it, I guess, is on a clan blitz map where everything is very condensed and the straightaway path is pretty short. It's Mako clans for the third map here. Los Inklings, by the way, in salvage mode.
Yeah, so Los Inklings is not all hope is lost. They do have this is a play all three. So and you did mention that this is like a very short, it's a very short space between the middle of the map and the clan basket, and you really have to be able to. I find there's a lot of scrambling that happens here. Being able to have like a really strong position as well up on the other team's stack as well. But you know what? It's great to see actually these AoE weapons, especially the blaster, come out from the side of Los Inklings, because that is just going to be pushing those players off those ledges, especially if you're on snipe, if you're on that stack as well, just to slow them down from being able to get into those advantageous spots. However, Los Inklings is going to be losing 2 players here, 3 players actually. Another very useful weapon to have here is the Tri-Slusher. Does look like we end up seeing a soft wipe happening as Forgotten is gathering up their clamps to get this first push done.
Yeah, pretty much that wipe always going to secure the first push for them. Now, one of the weapons I wanted that I already noted from Forgotten's end, they got the 960 out there. A Kraken is available in play if they want to take advantage of a Kraken jump push. They didn't even really need it for this first push alone. They were able to win the initial fight there, but the infamous Kraken jump strategy is in play if they want to take advantage. But at this stage, though, they break it down to 65 points remaining. Now, and this will be the stop that's actually going to get pushed here. Delayed wipeout on top of it, actually. So Los Inklings, again, same story. Great defense. They just got to convert that into offense as they do finally secure the wipeout. Another thing to note too, both teams going radical changes with their comp, as you mentioned. Both teams have a different variant of the Tri-Saucer overall, and the custom Jet Sculpture as the first push is already in. We'll make comment on that later as they are trying to get a lot more points in. Los Inklings, though, they got 3 lurking on the side. Can this blaster get those clamps in? They're trying to race themselves right in. They get 1. They missed the first one over the basket, so they don't actually tie the game off of that, but they do keep the deficit manageable. Still very early, all things considered, but Forgotten may be able to crash things back with that crab tank that they got from the splash. Here's the next push here, Lily.
Yeah, the Crab Tank is in a great spot just to hold that area as well as they have that push, that power climb ready to get that push going as well. This looks like 3 players and Los Inklings have gone down as well. They can continue this further if further power climbs can actually start going, and we are seeing a power climb being jumped over. Not sure if they managed to get it in though. Unfortunately not. It does look like that is going to be sitting there, but this Kraken is going to be trying to clear things out and pick up that power climb. And again, it does look like that power climb actually breaks. Looks like that is 2 players being taken out by Lost Slug as well, the Blaster, as Los Inklings tries to find a way back in off the back of that, of those 2 players there.
Well, and the unfortunate thing with Forgotten, this could have been a much bigger score, but apparently the theme of the game here is that both teams not able to aim their clams right at the basket. One small clam was thrown over the top. The other power clam was just underthrown. So that's how we see some lost opportunities here. Los Inklings is going to be opportunistic though. They get a wipeout right away. Now could this be a lot more points? They got a power clam and they do cash this one in for the lead. That will be Los Inklings with the lead. 29 points remaining, and the Blaster again making the same jump. They missed one. That's going to be okay. It is 20 points remaining. They are wiped out once again. Swingy directions back and forth between both of these two, from both these teams. They won't be able to push up themselves any further. The Los Inklings have the lead. 20 to 41 points remaining is the score. But look at Forgotten. They got 2 power clams that they can take advantage of, with one being carried right now.
Yeah, you did want to be able to go for you do want to be able to go for a knockout if you get that wipeout like they were able to there, but you know, Forgotten was able to get at least 1 power climb in, as we saw the other power climb carrier kind of go down there, and they do manage to get a jump in. They kind of didn't manage to get that jump in the first time around, but getting that jump in the second time secured that lead as well. Now this is a very small lead, and I think all of their players are kind of pushed back far enough because Los Inklings is on the defense here, trying to take space for them to actually start initiating something for themselves at some point as well. We can already see the tactical come out as well, and also the rain as well, but they are going to be with this Zuka pushing them back. Getting a nice 2 Pixies 3 players down is definitely going to be something that's going to help them to get that lead. Once again, it looks like they can get a knockout of this as well, with those players going down as well on the side of Forgotten. Los Inklings manages to get that final power clam in, getting them finally a win against Forgotten in this set.
Well, look at this here. They get the Kraken jump. You get the lead, but the next step to actually taking advantage of the Kraken jump is to keep the lead. Unfortunately, Forgotten lost unfortunately, Forgotten got that script turned around. I mentioned the first 2 maps there. Los Inklings, they just needed to find offense. They found it in spades here in the final seconds of that match. Again, everything was well within range. Both teams were basically just trading scores after scores after scores. Lily, and Los Inklings, and in the final seconds, 2 power clans, by the way, to get out of those penalty points and into 10 points remaining. So all you really need is just the 4 clams. They just gotta figure out where they are. They got 3 in, and then clams are just pretty much just lurking around. It was just a matter of time for Los Inklings to get that 3rd map won. And Los Inklings themselves, they do salvage this play all 3 set, taking at least a 1-2 for their efforts, though. But by the end of the day, Forgotten will take this one home with a 2-1 set victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic victory from Forgotten, I have to say. Really good to be able to see them against Los Inklings, being able to actually, and the game is back back and forth as that, even though they did miss that first power climb jump in, them being able to get that final power climb jump, of course, is going to be helping them to win that game as well. However, that is actually going to be it for the Nessie's Pools part of Swim or Sink or 128. We'll be back later with the first match of Great White Bracket. At the moment, we just have to wait for this set. I think all teams to be finishing up, and then the next segment, the next part of the tournament to be seeded.
Yeah. So once again, we will once everybody's out of their pool stages, we'll be out of here. So when we come back, top cut for Great White on the Great White bracket side. So once again, you don't want to miss a thing. We got to get all the seedings figured out, and we'll get that first round covered for you when we can.
And hello, everyone. Welcome back to Squidic. I'm Lily Gravy Bread. You can just call me Lily, and I'm here with Kion, and we will be taking you through the first set of Great White Bracket. And we're going to be looking at these two teams, Helios on Torrent, and Torrent rather, as they face off against each other in this first set of Top Cut.
Yeah, I'm gonna be excited to see how these two teams go at it. We've seen Helios and Torrent through many different through the many different tournaments in the past, whether it was SOS or elsewhere. So I'm excited to see how these two teams duke it out here in our first round of Great White Brackets. Should be a lot of fun here, Lily, as both teams will be queuing up here for the best of threes now until Grants. We got ourselves our first map here in Hagelfish Market Splat Zones.
Oh, Hagglefish Market Splash Zones. Now, this is something that I feel like we have seen quite a fair bit in tournaments, right? But I feel like it's also been, I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen all that much recently, but you know what? Hagglefish Market Splat Zones is a map where there is quite a lot of open space, open sight lines, which is great for any backline weapon, of course. I feel like this was a very dominant when we had the inkjet meta. This was a very dominant map, I feel, for uh what's it called? Ballpoint, of
Mhm.
course, because
Yep.
you can get your inkjet, you can pop your inkjet, especially when you had that movement buff, being able to get up over the top of those two big pillar stack things on either side of the zone, and just like absolutely dominate with your inkjet over the other team's court. However, uh, we do see quite a wide variety of backline weapons nowadays, which I think is a very good thing, wouldn't you say?
I mean, nowadays we get to see we see a lot of different varieties. Ultimately when I think of the many different backline weapons that we have available, Pet Sniper is probably one of the more popular choices nowadays.
Hmm.
With cooler, but we also but if you look at it from from different contexts, we see E leader still very popular for many teams that still want to specialize in the E leader. You got splatter scope, splat chargers even as well for ink vac usage if you want to take advantage of it. This may not be necessarily be the map combination to support an ink fact. So, but I could be proven wrong, of course. It's probably it's gonna be one of those cases where ultimately I would like to see what both teams, Helios and Torrent, wants to dish out in Hagelfish market zones, because you still have the canopy up top where backline weapons can just reign supreme across the board. You could be seeing not just the Interjet, but also some old classics too, like any crab tank weapon such as the splash make its way back
Hmm.
here, and if the teams want to run it.
Yeah, I feel like I can. You mentioned Crab Tank. I feel like the weapon that I've been seeing a lot more frequently that has Crab Tank is V Julies.
Yeah.
Of course, not only do you have like a Crab Tank, which can get into like those really aggressive spots as well, but V Julies, if you remember, like a few patches ago, did get buffed as well in terms of being able to just roll so much quicker. It's such an aggressive weapon, and great at just diving in and finding and creating openings for your team as well. And off the back of that, once your team actually starts moving in, you can like move back just a little bit, pop a crab tank in an area that can just hold back the defending side even further to just get like pushes going for longer as well. However, crab tank as well, I think it's an okay weapon at trying to break out with. It's probably not as powerful as even as Inkjet, I'd say at the moment, in terms of being able to break out with and start to retake with a special weapon. And of course, nowhere near as powerful as Zuka, of course, which can just get very safe picks and turn the tide at any moment that it comes out, of course. But Crab Tank, I still think it's a good fun weapon, and great at being able to hold certain space. Especially powerful when you have a lot of wide open spaces as well to try and get picks with, which is what you often see happen here on Hagglefish Market. I love Crab Tank. I just go on about it. Sorry about all of that. I just love it so much.
I I can definitely see the absolute value of Crab Tank being dished out here. Again, if both teams want to take advantage of
Mhm.
a Crab Tank special, but again, don't be surprised if the try and true comes out. Try Zukas,
Yeah, yeah.
coolers, being any weapons of choice, any of those combinations. Sniper are probably gonna be the more common choice if we want to predict all the weapons. But of course, I'm
Mhm.
open to seeing what both teams really want to do. We've seen some very wacky choices throughout the rest of SOS here today, so gonna be excited to see what both teams want to dish out in Hagelfish zones. I take a look at both these teams for context. Helios' record here is a threes. They finished first in their respective group, 3-0.
Mhm.
In a group featuring Breakdown, Giant Enemy, Spy Crabs, and Vampire. And Torrent's also first on their side. In actually a three-team group, Ominous and Wipeout are the other two in that group as well, able to win their respective matchups against them. So that kind of sets the stage for how these two teams are going to go at it first in their group, but now they got a tango basically
Mhm.
in this first round here in top cut. Obviously, one team with this being single elimination, one team of course will be moving on to the next round. Other team will be eliminated. So a lot on line in this best of three, nevertheless.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned this is best of three, so if it can be done, it can be like over within like 2 games. And considering how fast splat zones can go as well, if you have like a very dominant team that can actually push up right into the face of the other one and just continue winning those fights constantly, consistently, because once you've got the zone, you don't necessarily have to worry much about the objective anymore. It just comes down to winning those fights and taking that map control, which is a very different deal on Tower Control Inkling. Now, if the Tower Control and the Rainmaker were swapped, so Rainmaker was second, sometimes I do wonder sometimes that like also depending on the map, um, that can be a very very fast game to win as well if you manage to capitalize off winning a fight early on in the game and then just winning another one around that next checkpoint. um that can be a very very quick knockout as well, depending on the map, of course. But instead we do have tower control in the middle, which can be tower control in art academy, uh probably one of the most famous competitive map modes in Splatoon 3, of course. Fantastic tower control map as well. And although you do have the special passive special charge, that advantage you get when you're riding the tower forwards, there's so many great spots to defend from around the bats, around what I like to call garlic, but other people like to call foot or even statue or something like that, depending on what side of the what do you call these call out wars you're on. But in any case, there are some great spots that you also have to watch out for if you are on the defending side, because you did mention, actually no, I was the one who mentioned V Julies. If you do get like those weapons that can just dive in there and get a lot of value, getting picks in those areas that like the defending team really want to defend from, then that can spell the end of can just spell the end of tower control very quickly here as well. So yeah, it just does depend on how you're going to be dealing with defense on the second map. And also, you know what, the first one as well. I think dealing with being able to defend and break out of Splatstone's Hagglefish Market is incredibly important as well.
Well, ultimately, both teams are going to be facing up against the first two maps of this one.
Hmm.
If they do tie it up 1-1, they will have to deal with Crab like Capital Rainmaker when we get if we ever do get to that point. But to your point,
Hmm.
though, both teams are going to have to deal with taking over the zones map. Whoever winning zones will then basically have a match point waiting for them in Inkblot or Art Academy Tower Control. Which again, you alluded to a lot of great points of that map, which we'll save when we get to that. Um,
Hmm.
I'm more intrigued with how really both these teams mentally when coming into this one to this best of three. You've made it to this point. You've gotten past the pool stages overall. You gone through the 3 rounds. You're here in Great
Yeah.
White brackets now.
Hmm.
You're up against some of the best teams in the different groups that are out here in SOS. Like mentally, I bet myself both teams are probably thinking, all right, we got past the hard part. Now if we lose this set, we're done. We can't
Hmm.
we won't be able to proceed any further. So I think a lot is kind of looming large for them. They want to definitely start off this first map, for this set really strong by, of course, winning the zones map overall, Lily.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting your momentum in the first game, I think, is probably going to definitely affect your mental. Not just in that, not just like if you're on the winning side of that first match as well, but if you do lose that first game, you have like, two more games you got to play if you really want to win, or if in order to be able to win this set as well, and to move on in the tournament. You do have that first game under your belt, though, you're in a much more comfortable position because, of course, you are going to be thinking about, okay, we know what we did well in that first game. Can we replicate that? Can we adapt that to the different map, the different terrain that Tower Control Ink Art Academy is? Can we bring the same strategies that worked well enough in the first game against this team, and also figure out what their weak points were in that first game in order to be able to punish them in the second one as well? And that's the thing about if you're on the back foot, losing out on that first game as well. One of the things to think about as well is that, okay, when you did have those advantageous positions, those moments in the game where you did have an advantage, what worked there, and how can you make that work even better in the next one as well? So like being able to take that attitude, that approach, is going to be extremely important, I think, going into the bracket stage of this tournament as well, because of course you mentioned this is single elimination. If you get knocked out here, you're out of the tournament for this week.
Yeah, and the key thing too, you mentioned like you want to start off this first map strong. If you, of course,
Hmm.
if you're on the winning side, losing side, you got to go you got to win the next two. The mentality, at least I kind of view things, kind of also with my experience in solo queue too. When you're trying to, when you have those rank up battles, or basically you're in the middle of your anarchy series, you're like, okay, we lost maybe the first one, but we got to now take this one map at a time. It's like imagine you're starting off the set 0-2, or your anarchy series 0-2. Now you got to
Hmm.
start focusing. How do we get back? How do we put ourselves back in the positives again? You gotta. I
Yeah.
like. All right, one map at a time. I know it's two maps in the pool for anarchy, but it's kind of this.
Hmm.
I feel like it's the same mentality. It's like your entire team now has to be thinking one map at a time. We got to take each map as we go, and especially in the losing, it's like, okay, we didn't start off strong, and I know and we know our next map is for our tournament, is for our weekly tournament lives. So that's gonna definitely be looming large, but that's definitely the mentality you gotta have. We got all the players wrangled into this matchup. We're gonna kick off Top Cut here in the Great White Brackets. Take a look at your weapons here. I mentioned backline weapons are the
Hmm.
choice in hand. Apparently, Torrent says otherwise. By the way, Torrent's on the orange colored side. Blue colored side is gonna be Helios. Torrent's going with the Nautilus for their longer range choice. I'm actually gonna be intrigued to see how this is gonna work.
Okay, so what I've actually seen Helios play before is very much being able to hold space extremely well, and being able to keep up pressure through shocking. We can see already how Sorella here had provided an opening for their shot to actually start to move in. They do lose their players in that moment, though, as Torrent is able to shut this down extremely well. And with those three players going down inside of Helios, Torrent, with the help of the rain, the Inkstorm is able to move back up ahead. The Nautilus barely staying alive there as they do that, but I think Astro here is going to just be in the zone, and we can already see Sorella is already going to try to provide that opportunity for their shot to start moving up ahead as well. I reckon one of the players that a Torrent really has to watch out for is Charter on the roller, because that's a weapon you do not want to be shulking around, and I've seen that player get like three players down very, very quickly if you don't have your eyes on them those times.
Yeah. And all these Trizuka shots that just happened. You saw one that just took out two on the side of Torrent. Torrent responds with a lot more of their own. It's all this fight that's happening around the zone right now. Nobody really having true control of the zone until it's Helios with the bubble that's being put in place. Now trying to set up that aggression, trying to set up the pressure against Torrent there, trying to see if they can go up the ramp. Josh wants to fire with this Trizuka shot, almost getting Astro from range. Finally gets Astro on the third shot. But while all that's happening, Helios is taking down on those points remaining here. It's still going down, and now they're able to get the quick flip there. Torrent does get the zone's control. Helios does get one Trizuka shot of their own, able to take out one member out of the picture, and now the ball starts to happen. And Floops gets the Trizuka, just pops it right out, and it's like, nope. I'm not gonna let you. And that's two members down on the side of Helios. Torrent is gonna be able to get this pressure with the lead changing right about now.
Yeah, and that lead change is actually going to be absolutely going to be huge. You can see Len kind of shocking around there, just waiting for that moment to start moving up ahead. But Helios is going to not let that happen with the help of that tactical edges. We can already see how Sorella and Charter is actually moving back in. Charter's actually taking a very aggressive spot in the middle of the zone there, getting a bubble out just to help their team move back in safely as well, and to take up space there. We can already see Sorella kind of looking around. That player is going to be forced to jump out there. He's going to allow that push to go even further, but Torrent is going to be coming out with the help of that Storm and the Zuka. This looks like their first zone cap where they're able to take the zone, but it does look like those zones are only going to be neutralized just at this moment. They haven't managed to catch it just yet. Maybe they can do it now though.
Yeah, the zone being flipped over to Torrent, and really both teams really not really taking any sort of control as we speak. Well, as soon as we say that it's a 3 down, this should be Helios's zone to have in control. Now you're saying Astro with that pencil, the snipe fighter per se that can just dish out ink in a hurry from the back line is going to be very valuable to help keep this pressure up, keep all that territory in their grasp. But Astro's going to be pushed back a bit here. Josh and the rest of Torrent just trying to move right up ahead. The roller is down from Sorella, I believe, and it will just be again stuck in this neutral state here with the cooler being dished out. And they can move fast and up ahead, but is caught right into the shot of the Trizuka. Helios says, "Shuts all of that down," and that will be Helios out of the penalty points. And this may be the lead change coming up here shortly, unless they're able to flip it quickly. They do not, and Helios does keep the zones alive at least for the short term. But Lily, that was insanely huge with the Trizuka shot taking out 3.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, that's the thing about Trizuka. You can just change the tides very quickly, and not only did we see that happen, we saw that lead switch go all the way down to 19 for Helios as well. Now Helios has been able to be in the lead already for quite a fair bit early on in this match, but they're just going to be keeping their numbers up here. Josh is going to be forced all the way back, just as we can see Charter just camping these ledges, making sure that any attempts to drop down is going to be too dangerous. But they do get picked up here by Len, who's going to be getting another pick on Sorella as well. So going absolutely ham here, finding that final one on Astro, is making sure that in these last few seconds they might be able to take this in overtime and get a lead on Helios as well. Things are looking pretty up for them at the moment, I'd say.
Yeah, things are definitely looking up, and now they got the Trizuka just farmed up there, but they did lose one in the process. Zap, Nautilus, and Blaster are the only one that's up front, but they lose Azarella, attempt Umbrella right away. Blaster is able to take out one, and that would be it. But they're able to get themselves out of the penalty points there. One special only off this big bummer. They got to move up front, but there's not enough pressure, not enough push from Helios to do just that, and that is a come from behind victory in overtime as Torrent takes this one home and to kick off the set 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic gameplay from Torrent in that final 30 seconds of the match. Being able to move up so quickly, especially getting so much value from Len's blaster as well, just to provide that opening from those picks for Torrent to be able to move up and, you know, take the space that they just needed to take in order to prevent Helios being able to move back in. Now, when Helios was moving in, it was a combination of especially in the front line, it was definitely the Umbrella Shield that was trying to help provide the opportunity either with their shot or their roller to try and find those positions that they really want to be in to kind of move ahead and stay safe as well. But I think in that particular match, I did notice that the Umbrellas, whenever the Umbrellas started going down, Helios was kind of a little bit on the back foot there. They had lost one of their main tools for getting their players in with, and however, what Len was able to do towards the end to be able to win that was just being able to get those picks, and with the rest of their team kind of moving in at the same time to be able to hold Helios back even further. You know, just in this mode in particular, it just comes down to being able to continually win those fights as well, which is what Torrent was able to do in the end.
And I mean, that entire map world kind of just showcased the whole back and forth we saw. Nobody really took full control from minute one. You get to see a lot of lead changes. So hopefully this will set the tone for the rest of the set where we just get to see this whole huge back and forth. Who will take the most advantage either way. We're on to Inkwat target control. Basically, both teams wasting absolutely no time. I'd like to see if there's any changes really on the side of Helios there, as they do lose this one. They have to win the next two to fight back. As Spec from Torrent is out here with the Neo slashing machine of all things, and on the other side as well, I think it's gonna be your typical base of your splatter shot, your ballpoint roller, and end zap to note. But the big change I really want to highlight here is Torrent on the slashing machine Neo.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Slashing Machine Neo come out quite a fair bit, especially on teams like Occupying have those bucket players like us. But I think having a player who's familiar with bucket, who's that class of weapon, who's also been able to flex onto a weapon that has Zuka, which is so valuable as well, is just going to be a fantastic tool to have for your team as well. It does look like in those first few fights, both teams are kind of going to be resetting here as they've all kind of spawned in. But the difference is Torrent has the Zuka, the two Zukas already to force Helios back here and get a push going. Hopefully, it can only get down to 98 so far, as Helios is already paired up and ready to win these fights against Torrent. Unfortunately, not winning that one as Charter does go down, but 3 players have gone down on the side of Torrent, which will perhaps allow Helios an opportunity to start moving forward.
Helios will be able to continue up with this pressure at least for about two more seconds before losing a couple members there, so they don't have enough pushing power left to go. Again, both teams just kind of fighting back and forth to go. Coolin is kind of being placed into the path of the tower there, so it might be taken away if they get past the first checkpoint. But the key thing is past the first one, as the Ancient does get some value there on the trade, but it will be the first checkpoint cleared out by Torrent, and now continuing on to the treacherous second one where things can get a little dicey in a flash. So where you position and where you find those fixes is going to be huge. Josh pops up and does take out one of the members of Helios right then and there. And there's the second one down on top of it. This will definitely be the second checkpoint unless they get off the tower. As soon as I say that, though, I had to speak words in my mouth. 3 members gone down on Torrent. That is not the second checkpoint anymore, but it is 46 points remaining there, Lily. Wow.
Yeah, that was incredible. It was like having those players go down just at that crucial moment is going to be changing the tide of the game. It's going to be changing the entire momentum pretty much, as Torrent now has to be able to fight their way back into where the advantage that they had before. However, the thing is, when you are fighting back here on top of the floor, you do get quite a lot of power from that passive special charge to help you move up ahead, and that is going to be helping, I believe, at least Len, I reckon, is a player to watch out for in terms of where those bubbles are going to be placed. We're seeing 2 bubbles being popped already on both sides here, which is going to be perhaps tanking a little bit of damage from the Inkjet, but the Inkjet does get a pick on Josh here, as Helios, with those 2 players down the side of Torrent, is going to be taking the power back to that checkpoint.
That checkpoint we go. We get to see Helios try to strike big this time, but again, it's the same situation. They're losing a couple. They don't have enough pushing power left. Sorella has to escape, but unfortunately going down in an untimely moment. So again, Torrent is still holding some firm ground here, and you don't really need to push they don't really want to need to be pushing too much, if anything, but at least play defensively and then try to make sure that they don't give Helios a chance to strike. Maybe Spec has other ideas. We get to see this Trizuka not get anybody actually, and they do lose the shot of their own. Torrent's gonna again not have much in the way of defense so far. Sorella is gonna be lurking for just a few moments. But all that being said, on both teams stuck in the neutral state, Sorella's gonna be the one on tower right juice for at least a quick moment before picking up the soda and taking it to the first checkpoint momentarily.
They haven't been able to break through that checkpoint just yet. Every single time they get there, Torrent is just being able to shut them down. We can already see that Helios has lost Charter here, but Torrent is going 2 plays down, which is going to be helping them get that first checkpoint. However, I think that if they manage to get a pick on Len, it's going to not spell the end, actually, I think, but they are going to be forced back from that machine Neo once again, so they haven't been able to push it very far just yet. But at the moment, what they're trying to do is basically just keep their momentum up. You can see the Inkjet come out already, which is going to at least scatter Torrent just a little bit, but Torrent is going to try and find picks by going around from behind, perhaps getting some flanks in, but I don't think that is necessarily going to be working out for them too well as players are going down on both sides. Still, this game is still fairly neutral going into these last 20 seconds. It does look like, I think, Torrent is in a safe position.
Well, and the key thing too is that each trade that happens, Storm's gonna be very happy with this one. They have the lead too. You gotta keep all your members alive in the last 5 seconds. But where is everybody on tower right and duty? There's only 2 members down. That is a full wipeout. Torrent shuts the door on Helios to wrap up this set. Overall, Torrent moves on to the next round in great white brackets with a 2-0 set victory over Helios.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic to see from Torrent. I have to say, I think the weapon comp they're running in that first match, just knowing that, okay, yeah, you know, having Len on the blaster is going to be so good in the tower control one as well. Fantastic to bring that up, because having anything that can camp ledges, that can push people off the tower, that can set up bubbles as well, not just from not just bubbles riding the tower, but bubbles that can actually help just like give yourself at least some kind of advantage in a fight, or allow yourself to position at some kind of off angle, like I sometimes see in tower control, especially in Inkling Art Academy, can help people kind of like move around from behind as well. But you know what, both teams were running that bubble, but I think Torrent having both the blaster and I think the machine Neo were 2 very helpful weapons on this map mode in particular, where you really want to be able to push people out of those positions, off ledges, off the as well, and also off the tower, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. But we got to see Torrent go 2-0, basically in the back of a push that basically I thought things could get a little treacherous with not being able to break through the
Mhm.
second checkpoint, but they wasted. But there was ultimately no problem at the end. Helios was a little scattered right during the tail minutes of the game, where effectively they just tried to get one last push in, but with losing one of the members out, that was just it was just asking a lot from a 4v3 scenario there, and that's what how Torrent holds on 2-0 with a Wipeout to solidly clean that one up. But Lily, that's going to be the end of our block here. We covered groups.
Mhm.
We got the first round of top cut all settled away. So that's going to be it for both of us here. We're going to get new comms in. But before we do just that, where can the people find you?
Or you can find me on Twitter at Lily Gravy Bread. You can also find me on Twitch. I stream there from time to time, either doing my own little streams with viewers, or commentating some tournaments there as well in the OCE region, Australia, New Zealand, surrounding countries as well. So you can see me there. Same username, Lily Gravy Bread. That's Lili Gravy Bread, all one word. And where can the good people of the internet find you, Kion?
The good people of the internet in the internet can find me on Twitter and on Twitch, Kion2570. Also on the Skies That Are Blue, if you have that on Twitter and Blue Sky, you guys can just find me posting a lot of nonsense. Really, I can. I'll probably just post whatever comes to mind. It could just be Splatoon. It could be anything in general. And on Twitch, I do stream Splatoon, but I'm also primarily variety. So smash that follow button if you want to find me on both of those fronts. But Lily, thanks for being on with me. Shout outs, by the way, to Subaru, who's doing a fantastic job on production here tonight. But we're gonna get new commentators in. So with Lily on hand, I'm Keon saying thank you guys for hearing us speak. But hey, new commentators will be taking you the rest of the way through SOS. So stick around. You don't want to miss a thing from Top Cut.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Swim or Sink 128. I'm here. My name is Six, and we are on round 2. I just had the teams that we're going to be playing up on my screen. It's Water Please and Project Sekai.
Yeah.
Jeannie, can you tell me what you know about these teams?
Definitely. If we go back to the teams before we get to the maps, we got Water Police being our first seed is going to be a little bit of a tough matchup for Project Sekai. It's going to be twice. John, Abraham, and Kat are all really strong, solid players, very good, and can go deep into weeklies like SOS. The problem is Kara, Pelu, Haya, Balloon, and Storm winning weeklies is a normal. You at this point in time, it's almost especially when they're all together. Like they are still a pickup, but they're a dangerous pickup. It's almost like a participation badge to get top 4.
Gotcha.
And,
They've won a lot of things, is what you're saying.
Oh yes, it's if you come top 4 at a LAN, coming top 4 on a weekly will not be difficult.
That's fair. That's fair.
But upsets are always possible here, Six.
That's also fair. All right, coming from both teams, I see pretty meta picks so far. I see a shot on both sides as well as an end zap. What's mixing it up a bit is the use of the splash on Project Sekai as well as the Nautilus. Those aren't very meta picks, but I believe in these capable hands, we're going to see a lot of carnage here.
Yeah, definitely, but unfortunately they're getting all wiped out. Water, please. Clams, please. They're throwing them together, getting them into this basket. We're going to go down well below 60 or 6. And I don't feel like Project Sekai is going to really have an opportunity to get out of spawn, especially with these Zuka shots coming in.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying really hard to get out of spawn with the Zuka shots, but they did manage to get a pick with one. They are pushing up here on their basket. They're getting a few more picks here, but it seems like they're getting outpainted really quickly as Water Please is still able to score some clams.
It's just going to be Haya left alive. Down they go. Overall, that push coming out of Water Please was really solid. We saw the 2v2 pronged attack going either sides of top mid, across top mid and around top mid, and just collapsing on Project Sekai. Beautiful, beautiful opening. Now we're going to see here, Six, what they can do on their attack at the Project Sekai.
Yes, it looks like 2 are down on the side of Project Sekai. Water Please able to take mid here again. They're cleaning up. They're trying to grab clams. They have a lot of clams actually right now as they build this tower. They're pushing up on this basket. Are they able to score here? And they are.
They are. That's beautiful play. Now we're going to see Storm just go back a little bit. More clams have made their way into the basket. Can Toys find anything with this Zuka? They're going to have to get Haya. Haya! You don't see Haya miss those too often.
That was pretty close there. But it looks like Project Sekai now has the advantage in players. They're able to push up on mid here. They have a power clam. They're trying really hard to get the advantage here. They pushed up all the way to the enemy ramp, but it looks like the enemy scamper is getting a lot of picks here.
Haya is such a talented player. They can just run through any team, well, almost any team, with just their pure mechanics as the basket is open for Water Please. The thing is for Project Sekai, the Nautilus and the Splash don't do well against the Sword and the Machine. Those weapons just inherently don't have the most favorable matchup. The chip damage, burst bomb, the overall range that the Sword has over the Nautilus and the Splash, especially the fact that you can just destroy Crab Tank with your Zipcaster and your Sword. It's a definitely on paper hard matchup for Project Sekai. Also having a little bit stronger team on the other side does not help.
Yeah, and it looks like this match is proving it here. Project Sekai is having a lot of trouble even just holding mid here. They have a few plans to their name, but as their players go down, they don't really have the power to do much with it.
This is just beautiful. I'm 90% sure that this is that. That was probably this. I don't know. We're gonna go with Bart.
Looks like Project Sekai has more players up on the field. Oh, that's 2 down on the side of Water Please. They're trying to get mid again, but 2 of them do go down here. As soon as they keep trying to push mid, they get their players picked off. It's getting really hard for them here.
It is, and now this clam will be open. It will open this basket. It's going to be dangerous. 4 clams in the hands of Pelu. They'll be able to just throw these in and get it all the way down to 4. Just needing 2 more clams to end this game here and now. It's just going to be Pelu. Pelu knows where the clams are, but are they going to go for them? Nope, they're opting to go for the splats. And getting 3 in that scenario is quite impressive.
They were just holding on there in that corner. They weren't even really trying to get more clams to make that score. They were just able to pick off Project Sekai, but that worked out for them. They were able to just hold there without any of their other teammates.
I want to see this crab tank from top make it a lot of work done. We do see it come out, but it's just getting pressured so easily. Members of Project Sekai aren't able to support that. At least they're able to get the spots that they need. This is a massive advantage, and the door is completely opened up here, sir.
Yeah, it looks like this is Project Sekai's chance to make the basket, and they open the basket. Now they have to score some more clams, but Water Please is on the offensive right now. They are pushing Project Sekai out of their spawn, out of their ramp, and now 3 go down on the side of Project Sekai.
Smart to throw that power climb up because you can't have that fall in mid. Unfortunately, even though it's on their spawn, Storm is just gonna keep it in check and let it fade away. As the power climb fades away, so does Project Sekai's chances of coming back, and they do drop game 1 of this best of 3.
That was a tough match to watch. You could just see that Water Please, their comp was just overpowering Project Sekai. Anytime they tried to push the mid to get those picks, they were just not able to.
No, they weren't. I have to just say it again. Nautilus and Splash aren't bad weapons currently. They just have a couple flaws. Like Nautilus, for instance, it's mostly its kit. The weapon itself is great. It just wishes it had a little bit more of a stronger kit, a stronger presence of a kit. And the fact that it doesn't win against Stamper and gets chipped out against Machine if it doesn't have paint control around it. And Splash, right now, Crab Tank loses to Zuka, which the Machine has. And Zipcaster, just being able to dash in through your crab and make your crab spin around, it's so hard. And Stamper's the best individual weapon. Like this, if I was to take a weapon and remove the sub weapon and the special weapon from any weapon, the Splatana Stamper is the best weapon in the game right now.
I feel like those are some big words you're saying. I don't feel like the Stamper has gotten that much play, even in these higher levels that we're seeing here. It's just not that common of a pick. It's hard to learn how to play against it when you just don't see it that often.
It's such a strong weapon, but the kit that it has synergizes with itself well. But Zuka is just that much better. That's why we don't see it. And also the fact that you need to have a shooter with it. So just have more Zukas. But it definitely can be utilized in a comp like that. I have seen it with 2 shots, a pencil, and a sword. And I wouldn't be surprised if I saw that coming out of some teams on other IPL streams later on in this week.
That's interesting. I wouldn't think a comp like that would work, but what you're saying makes sense, that it's kind of a good solo weapon, a good weapon to just kind of leave on its own and flank and get those picks while maybe the shots are building their Trizukas for other pushes. Like, it's a good team weapon in that way.
Yeah, because right now the shots, as much as people want to play them as like the frontline aggro shots, everyone is playing them as spam missiles, but instead of having missiles, I'm a Zuka kind of a shot.
Yeah, exactly. Just building the paint. Ooh, I like the E-leader pick on the side of Water Please. That's kind of scary to me. But this is a good map for it. It's very easy to stand somewhere tall and just be able to see the entire map and get those picks.
We do have the colors swapped on the side of it. That is Project Sekai, who's got the E-leader. I like the E-leader pick if you can land your shot. That's always what E-leader is. The unfortunate thing with E-leader is you get rushed down quickly. As soon as Water Please has that tactical, you know that they're going to score. It's gonna be difficult. You gotta find a way to get high out, and that's perfect. A jump out, back to 6.
Yeah, it looks like Water Please has gotten a lot of the paint control here. They are pressuring Project Sekai really, really well. They're not able to hold really any of their own space here. Butterfree's just kind of all over the map.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate time to fall down to a bomb. This killer whale, though, it's gonna have to get a lot of work done. It finds an assist and another player out of water, please. Zone needs to get painted over. You need to find a way to take out Haya, get these jumps down. You can't do that if you're Project Sekai. You need to take those advantages and you need to stomp on them. But now,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
drip pick
This is
time.
silly.
It's drip pick time. Please
That's
kill them all with
silly.
Zuko. Oh, no.
Gosh, that was such a silly last few seconds. But, you know, Water Please knew that they had the win, that they had the advantage. They got that wipeout. All they had to do was stand there, and that's what they did.
Yep. Just I call it that me and my team have is play zone, and it's instead of just rushing up and trying to get the splats, we just run back and paint over the zone. So then we're contesting the other team, so they can't paint it fast enough. And that's kind of what they did. Instead of playing zone, though, they said pick zone as let's take a picture.
That was silly. I myself haven't seen a team do that on stream before, so that's fun. That's fun for them. I hope they get to keep that picture forever in their hearts.
Yeah, 6 next LAN, your team. You should, instead of doing it like if you're gonna do that, you all stand up mid game and then you smile and look at the camera. That's the ultimate one.
Have you done that before, Jeannie? Have you gone to Lance and done that?
No.
Why are you telling me to do it?
Well, I've wanted to, but there hasn't been like a good match for me in a while that I've been on stream to do it with. Because like I'm either
This sounds like an excuse to me. This sounds
I'm
like
either being bullied by Starburst on stream or bullying. No offense to low ink eligibles, but I'm not low ink eligible.
Right.
Or bullying low ink eligibles. So it would look bad on me if I did that to a team that wasn't my skill level.
That's very fair. You don't want
So,
to
like,
bully the lower level teams. You don't want to make them cry.
Yeah, what you want to do is it has to be you have to take a drip pick against a team that you could feel like could keep up with you. So it's almost an honor to be drip picked on because like it's I said it in a stream earlier today, but have you ever seen the basketball photo of Dwayne Wade and LeBron James dunking?
Absolutely not.
No, it's or the SpongeBob and Patrick one. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, well, I'll send it to you later. It's just putting on a show, and you have to be the opponents have to be cool people to like have the picture taken
Okay.
on. You can't dunk on nobody. You have to dunk on somebody.
Wow, I'm learning life lessons here. This is an educational stream. Did you guys know that this was going to be educational like this?
Oh, educational. Well, you know what we could do? Well, we are re-getting our facts together. We could tell the people to be right back, so then they don't miss the round 3 action for more stories. Hello and welcome back to Swim or Sink. I am Genie7, joined by Six. And Six, we had a nasty matchup on our hands last time. This time, we've got Flower Pot versus Torrent. Hey, you know what? We've got some more water references here.
That's true, we do. I saw
Yep.
Torrent play earlier today, and they were really good. I'm excited to see them play again against Flower Pot, who I do not know anything about. So it's gonna be fun.
Unfortunately, I know a bit about Flower Pot. I played them in a best of one tournament on Monday, and we had them until they popped 3 Zukas at the same time, and 3 of us died. And that was
Ooh,
skill issue. I know.
no, that's a good strategy on their part. Good job, Flower Pot.
I know. Well, a little sore. Still a little sore. What I am excited about is I probably get to see a blaster today. Yeah, let's go, Len!
Yay!
Woo! We love Len.
Yeah, I was watching Len's Blaster earlier. Oh my goodness, they got so many picks with that. Just so sneaky, so well positioned. Ah, I want to see more of that here.
It's not even necessarily sneaky. Bro just kicks open the front door and blasts everyone in the face. You turn around like, oh dang, the door's down, and then it's like, oh snap, I'm gone.
I mean, that's Blaster in general, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's the fact that you can get away with it consistently, and Len finds a way to do it. That's what makes it so fun.
That's true. It looks like Torrent's got the Rainmaker right here. They have the man advantage too. They're able to push up here, getting some picks off of Flower Pot. Yeah, that was a good cast there. They got the picks and they got the checkpoint.
Yeah, they're gonna probably be able to get this pop. Unfortunately, 2 players alive. One of them being a blaster means you don't do a lot of Rainmaker damage. The Sniper Rider is going to force Len to take just a little bit back. They're gonna have this big bubble, but you can't go down to the Ultra Stamp. Ultra Stamp is traded out. It is most likely here. 6 will be a clean wipe.
Wow. All right, Flower Pot. They've got to grab this Rainmaker, get some points here. They do have paint control in mid because of Torrent going down. Looks like they're able to push up on left. They're able to paint right before it, but the Rainmaker is only lagging behind. It's gonna be tough to go against Torrent's defenses here.
Yeah, gotta watch it. Oh, the stamp comes and gets 1, gets 2. Can they find the Rainmaker as well?
Ooh.
Perfect. Rainmaker does get stopped before you even get to that checkpoint. That's gonna be massive. Torrent utilizing their bubbler from Len just to play a little bit safe, a little bit defensive, and getting a little bit of a flank around. Proves to be so good.
Oh my goodness.
That's
That's
Zuka
wipe
got
out.
4.
Alright, Torrent's got the Rainmaker here. They're able to push up on left. After that wipeout, they're able to get paint control here too. It is a little tricky going around this little hallway here. They're trying to get the picks, trying to keep the control, but it might be a little tough against Flower Pot.
It was a beautiful opportunity for Torrent to get in there. Unfortunately, the 4-piece Zuka wasn't able to net them any more than just a single point more than that they had before. We're gonna have D pop that cooler and trying to force their way forward. But they're now not gonna have the cooler for the direct push that they want to get in.
Ooh, I feel like as an end zap, they were pushed up pretty far. They're trying to get a pick, trying to make something happen, but they just weren't able to. Now Torrent's getting these picks here. A few of them do go down, but because the Stamper is so aggressive, they're trying to just push it forward. They do go down. Flower Pot now has paint control of mid. Maybe they're going to grab this Rainmaker here.
They most likely will. They're going to have a Zuka really, really close to being online. Len's going to be punished out. No teammates around them. The Zuka has gone up. If the comms can come through, then this Ranger may be able to go left side. But it's sitting on top of the pedestal on this right, meaning that it will most likely get done. You're going to see. 43 here, 6 is at the base of that ramp. So you could just run this Rainmaker really, really quickly and get the lead.
Ooh, it looks like they're trying here. Flower Pot has 4-man advantage against Torrent's now 2. They are trying to get these picks here before they go up this ramp. Oh, and they got the lead right there! Lead by 3. They have 40 points left to go.
They've got the lead by 3. Now they've got the spot. Zuka is coming out. So this should signify the ending of the push. Flower Pot is still in mid though. So you can't go too aggressively if you're Torrent.
Oh, there's so many picks going back and forth here, just trying to take control. is a very close game, being 40 to 43, and just every pick counts here. It's only a minute left, and I'm not sure who's gonna win it now.
That's what makes it. Oh my goodness! That was nuts! I didn't think that the Ultra Stamp was gonna be able to get the Zip Caster. Back to the point where before, it's anyone's game, especially when the points are down to 35. That's a solid push on this map, but not a game-winning.
That's what I was trying to get more points there, and they did. Now they're at 35. It is tough in that right corner to go up that ramp. You can't paint it like that. You just kind of have to pray and push forward, and they did get the points, but now Torrent has the ability to pick it back up to try and get the game in their favor.
Oh gosh, can you get a forfeit to Bazooka again? Probably not. It's going to be difficult. At least they're able to get two. The Zipcast can be able to go in. Can it find D? The back off is coming through. Point. You got one opportunity. Don't miss it up.
Oh goodness, this is their last push. They're trying to get these points here. They're trying to go up this ramp. Oh my god, they got the lead! Oh, I didn't think they would do that, and they did. Wow.
Oh, that bubbler from Len saved the game 6. It was used on the low ground in that hole of the ramp because there's that little patch of ink that you oftentimes get caught out by somebody's shark in there. Len dropped his bubbler in there. It stayed large enough, big enough to protect the Rainmaker to go below through the safeness of the bubble, jump up, squid roll up onto the ramp, and then just scamper that a little bit more forward, all being protected by that big bubbler. As soon as that big bubbler got too small, the Rainmaker fell. But that didn't matter because a lead had already been taken. Oh my goodness. What a beautiful comeback from Torrent. You said it, 6. The game, you don't know which way it's going to go.
It was such a close match, and then to just win in that last few seconds, that's amazing. Oh my goodness. I want to study that last play because like you said, there was so many pieces had to fall into place for that to happen, and it worked. It was perfect, and they won.
Yeah. The bubbler had to stay big enough, and it's like, it's called Big Bubbler, but it gets smaller when you shoot it. So everything had to go right, and you have to hit the Squid Surge. Like, how many people... I'm putting my hand up. I know I'd fail that Squid Surge. There couldn't have been ink below his feet, because if there's ink below your feet, then you're not going to be able to squid roll up on there. If the Zuka came out a second sooner, the bubbler would have been smaller. You're right, 6. Everything had to fall into place for Torrent, and it did. That was a masterclass on perfection of a big bubbler placement.
Goodness, I might have to go back and study that. That was cool. I hope that same kind of magic is going to happen in this next match, in this next Clam Blitz on Scorch Gorge. Oh goodness, a good map for Clam Blitz, but I'm not sure how the bubble is going to be utilized here. It's such a big map.
It's such a big map. I agree with you, 6. But one thing that Bubbler does have a big advantage on is throwing it underneath of the clam basket once you're into the clam basket. There's 2 issues with what I said there, though. You have to get to the clam basket without having a special, because normally you'd have 4 specials to push the clam's basket, but Bubbler can't be used until you're at clam's basket. The other problem with it is it can get obliterated fast by a thing called Ultra Stamp. And anyone that's inside of the big bubbler thinks they're protected, and if Moko just decides to pop an Ultra Stamp at any point in time when that big bubbler is up, that entire strategy can be completely different.
That is interesting. You don't see a lot of Ultra Stamp users, but that does exactly counter that bubble, so maybe that is exactly why they're playing it.
I just watched Kyo earlier run through a big bubbler with Ultra Stamp. So,
oh wow.
Anything is possible.
That's so cool. Looks very evenly matched here. Oh, and as I say that, 2 go down on the side of Flower Pot. Torrent now able to take the advantage here to paint up to get this ramp here, get more picks even. They don't have a power clam yet, but that end zap does have a lot of clams. Maybe they are close to building one in mid.
The sword battle's gonna go to the longer range. The ultra stamp, not the ultra stamp. The Platana Stamper is gonna come out on top of that fight. And a lot of the clams are here ready to go. The bubbler won't be ready for land, especially now. Gone. But that's okay, because Torrent's gonna just keep racking these points down here, 6.
Oh my goodness, yes, they have so much control of the map now. They're just able to go back, get clams, get even more of a lead here. There are a few going down, but still, Torrent is able to pick off Flower Pot. 3 went down. Now 2 are still down. Oh, there's a lot of trading back and forth, but because Torrent's still able to score some clams, they're still able to get that score down.
Yeah, and this is so devastating if you're Flower Pot. You had the advantage. Oh my goodness, not the blast direct on landing. you had the lead going into overtime of that last match, and now with like 2 minutes in, you're down to 8 points against you. Oh, the mental. It's got to be rough over there.
But I hope it only like fuels them, encourages them to push harder, because it looks like now it is going back and forth again. No one really holding mid here. They're both just trying to get picks, trying to find clams. It's pretty even as far as I can see.
It's looking like an advantage though, because Flower Pot, they've got the splash now. They've got another power climb. It's gonna go in the basket. They got another. There's a third power climb going in, all the way down to 40. If they can get another push like this after, that'll be really good. Gotta watch out though, because a lot of the members of Torrent are angry and they're here ready to fight. 31. That's solid. That's more than just solid.
Yeah, it looks like Torrent is able to get all these picks here, getting Flower Pot off of their ramp, stopping their push from going any farther. They're able to paint up here to try and hold this space. Doesn't look like they are aggressing forward at all, but they don't really need to. They have the lead right now, and it's a pretty good lead, even if it's only like a few more points. It's hard to get the score down from 31 with that penalty.
It's going to be, but if they've done it once, you as a player that's been in this scenario, if you've done it once, you can do it again. It's a great thing to have, and it's exactly what we're gonna have to run off. The problem is Torrent also has done it once, and if they do it again, the game is gonna be over, and so it's that.
Yeah, they did get that power climb in there.
Uh-oh.
That end zap, if they get to the basket, they're gonna be able to throw. Yep, and they did.
Yep.
They got that power in, and they got the game.
They did get the game. They did get the game. It was a solid attempt from Flower Pot to try and come back into this Cloudless game. But Torrent, they were just too strong. The power, the flow, it really just overwhelmed Flower Pot. And I don't really know what type of Flower Pot would be able to survive like a hydro pump vortex amount of water or a Torrent. Per se.
That's a good observation. I don't think it would be able to survive a torrent of water.
No. But
This is just science. That's
is-
what happened here. It was just science.
Is that really what we're here for the entire time? Are we here for Splatoon or are we here for science?
I told you this was an educational stream.
Oh, I forgot about that. All right, hold up. What is the title on the stream? Let's say. Okay, it says Tournament Competitive Esports English Splatoon 3. That's our Twitch titles. We might have to change it. I'll have to talk to Head TO about
Someone's
that.
gonna have to put in the education tag, please. We need to inform the masses.
Yeah. Especially with like Len's placement of we're gonna have like the first guest on our show here 6 is gonna be Len. Big bubbler placement. That'll be our first guest on our show.
That's got to be calculated. There's got to be like graphs and charts for that. Definitely. I want to learn math.
Yeah, for real. Coming to you near on a channel soon, following the next podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, you get on that, Genie.
I thought we were gonna get our agent on that. Our agent is IMAD, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You good with that?
Yeah, I'll call my people.
All right. You'll call your people. I'll just put the heavy spotling bat signal up in the sky, and I know my man will come out. He'll like, I got you, fam. All right. Well, while we are waffling on science, we should probably do a history lesson while we had our way to grand finals, because we need our next slide ready. We'll catch you on the other side.
Bye. Hello, everybody. Are you excited? We're at grand finals for Swim or Sink 128. I know I'm excited. Are you excited, Jeannie?
Let's go! Woo! Yeah, baby, that's what we've been waiting for. Yeah.
That's very convincing. Thank you. We've got Water Please and Torrent in this grand finals here. Both water-based teams. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Both have done really well so far. We've seen both of them on the stream, so I am excited. I'm not just saying that. I am excited.
I'm excited. Also, we have, like I said, we had a little bit of a history lesson here. So Water Please, you look at their logo on the top left. That is that is Swampy. Swampy's from a video game, but I'm not gonna say the video game because it's not the video game that we're playing. He's in his original game. There are 4 levels: Meet Swampy, Troubled Waters, Under Pressure, and the 4th most difficult level, Sink or Swim.
Oh, it comes full circle.
This is full circle. This is chapter 4, baby. And you know what round this is in Great White?
What?
Round 4.
Whoa! How'd they do that?
I don't know. Boom. And I know it's in a different round, but Under Pressure. Do you know what high pressure water is?
No, can you tell me?
It's a torrent.
Oh my goodness. Whoa!
It can either be a hydro or a torrent, depending on what it is. A torrent of water is usually a high-powered stream.
I
Under
can't believe
pressure.
this. I
Could
can't
be
believe
troubled
this.
waters. But yeah, I told you all about it. Yeah.
You did.
Sure. Let's go, Falco. Let's go, Falco. I don't know. It's just... Where's my water? They got it. And I think they got it in the bag because, like, Torrent did a good job with their name and it being, like, Splatoon themed and water themed and that. But Water Please with the Sink or Swim chapter? Chapter 4? Bro.
Yeah, that's good. You can't really do better than that.
I'm gonna be honest. The only thing I wouldn't do is bet against Torrent with a blaster player on tower control. Next stage, Cargo Company Tower Control 6.
Oh my goodness. That'll be
These
good.
transitions. I'm warmed up and ready for combat.
You're so ready today. This is awesome.
Looking at these maps, though, 6. I'm looking at the latter half. I'm looking like if I'm Water Please, I don't want to take a blaster to tower control or Macomar. So avoid those at all costs.
I feel that. Tower control on ship shape. That's a good place for a blaster, I think, because there's a lot of kind of hallways, you know. It's kind of smaller. It's not so spread out. So being a blaster here is probably very fun. I've not tried it myself. I would have to ask Len.
I haven't actually tried it on tower control cargo yet. I played the S blaster, if that counts. But regular blaster, regular blaster. No, I don't know its ranges on this map because it's a lot shorter, and this is a very, very open map outside of checkpoint 2, which is the final checkpoint on this map. That's when you can really, and down in the pit, that's where blaster can really thrive from below the ledges. But in the neutral game, I really am not super excited for Len. We'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. I was thinking of the different checkpoints where it is sort of like a little hallway where you're kind of stuck between going in just two directions.
Yeah.
And those would be fun for a blaster player. But you're right, there are some bigger open spaces that will not be as fun.
Yeah, how do you get to that open spaces? Because Water Please, as we saw before, are not a team you can sleep on whatsoever. And it's really going to come down to with what speed the water comes at Torrent. It's who needs the water more. Is it torrent of water flowing toward the people that are saying water please? Or is Water Please washing away their competition and leaving just the lines of the water wash behind?
You're killing me with these water puns. For some reason, I don't see them coming. I don't know why. I wouldn't at this point. But you got me. You throw me for a loop here.
It's like the flow of water. It always finds its way to where it needs to go.
Yeah, you got me again. Just full of water puns.
It's the humans are mostly water. So is this Earth.
stop.
They're on a boat, so you know what surrounds them.
Oh my goodness. How about we just talk about the game that's happening?
We're talking about a game about aquatic animals fighting each other. I'm down for that.
Aquatic animals. Okay, let's see. Water please. One is down. One is down on the side of boat. Now two are down on the side of water please. Oh, there's a lot of back and forth happening. Not one team has really claimed the tower yet. I see this fight happening in mid. It's a lot of picks here.
Yeah, and Len's able to go 1, 2, 3. Can't get the 4th. Balloon's able to stay alive. Papa Zuka. But can you stay alive through this Nautilus? The jumps are here 6. Torrent. They withstand the pressure from water please. And now they're going to be able to go through the first pivotal checkpoint. The only checkpoint that really can decide the map. Because if you get through this so fast, the more attempts you have on that second checkpoint, the critical checkpoint, the best.
Ooh, that was a good super pick from Josh here. Although 3 do go down on the side of Torrent. Water please now able to take this tower to push up to get paint control a little bit. Let's see if they can get that first checkpoint. It doesn't look like they're gonna be able to stand against the defenses of Torrent though.
Oh my goodness, this could be an electric match because I didn't expect Torrent to have a opening push like they did. It's up to Water Please to really find an opportunity to bust the door down again. Taking out Len is a solid option to start.
With that rain there, it's going to be hard to try and contest that tower, but it looks like Torrent did lose the tower. Oh, Water Please has it now. They're able to push up back to mid. They're trying to take more paint control here, but it's hitting hard against Torrent as they're tossing bombs. They're using their specials. It's tough here.
Lots those Zukas, they're all here, they're all coming. They didn't find any spots with it, but they found the members who are trying to hide because of those Zukas. Meaning that this first checkpoint should be in favor of Water Please, unless somehow Torrent's able to run at it, and they won't do it.
Ooh, Water Please gets the lead here as they're able to hold the tower just a little bit longer than Torrent was able to. Torrent now trying to push up. It looks like they're having a bit of trouble taking control of this area though.
The rain cloud is out. But the last one alive is the storm. It's not the ink storm, it is Sway Storm. Meaning that you can't just like let him cook. Luckily, Len knows that, gets the splat, and jumps out and back in. Smart play by that Tacticooler. Because Len still has a Tacticooler buff. If he falls down, he's back again.
Wow, that was a good play. That was a good jump out. And they are getting the picks here off of Water Please. Len using that bubble to try and be kind of a menace here. They do get a pick. Oh, there's a lot of back and forth happening as Torrent has the tower now. They're pushing it forward, trying to get the lead here. Are they able to get it? And they've got the lead. Let's go!
Oh, Torrent fans are popping off in the chat right now. Fortunately, it's a 2v2 scenario now. Storm's gonna run in and get taken out. The jumps will be here. Torrent's got this. They've got an insane opportunity here to really push it down the Water Please. The knowledge going in, going big. Doesn't matter if they don't get the splat 6 because this tower is rocking down through this checkpoint. If you can get through this, that could be a game-deciding lead.
Ooh. Doesn't look like they got that checkpoint, so that Nautilus was really... Oh, did they get the checkpoint? Okay, that Nautilus was like distracting the other team for so long that they were able to get all those points, that they were able to get such a great lead now. Now Water Please is pushed up here, they're trying to paint, they're trying to get control, but Torrent is so strong in this match so far, so going against them here is going to be tricky.
The problem is that Zuka and Zipcaster, it's a deadly combo that takes out 2. It might be looking for a 3rd, but they'll be satisfied with 2. The problem is for Water Please, what do you have else? What's next? A Tacticooler? Tacticooler's not gonna win you not gonna barge the door, like bust the door open. It's just gonna allow you to fight again. The jumps are gonna have to come back in for Water Please, but they're gonna get camped.
Yeah, Water Please did try really hard there to hold that area, but they're just getting picked off one by one. And now Torrent has control of mid again. They're able to get these picks, to get this paint control. I'm not sure how Water Please is going to get back in. They're having a lot of trouble trying to get the picks here.
Zuka is out on defense, or on the offense for Water Please. You gotta watch out. A blaster in overtime sitting below the tower is devastating. The members of Water Please can't get to the tower, and now it's gonna be Torrent Torrent coming off and taking game 1 of this best of 5 here, 6.
Oh goodness, that was a good game to watch. There was a lot of back and forth there. It seemed like, you know, maybe Torrent was able to get more picks, maybe the hold a little bit easier. I'm not sure. I can't see a clear advantage here. They were both so good.
I don't know. Maybe it was the cold water that Water Please didn't want. They didn't like the frosty air of cargo, ship-shaped cargo company. Or maybe Torrent, they used the sea to their advantage to really blast their way through this tower control game with the help of, you know, a big bubbler using Blaster Player, Nameland. Plus, I gotta say, the Nautilus, they went off using the absolute follow-up off of Lens Chaos, just able to shred through, showing why Nautilus, like, I'm gonna be honest, people, if you wake up in the next 2 weeks before December and the patch starts coming out, and we see that a new Nautilus is coming, and it has Zuka, we're all running for the hills, because that weapon will be the new meta.
Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. They would never do that, right? Nintendo would never do that. They would never make a that strong.
Mm-hmm. They have, and they will. They literally gave the last one Inkjet Suction. That destroyed the meta for, like, I don't know how long.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I do miss that. I miss Splatoon 2 a little bit.
I miss Splatoon 2's amount of weapons. I don't miss Ink Armor.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But anyway, what we do have in front of us is an Undertow Spillway. And what we saw Torrent do last time on this map, I would love to see again.
Definitely. Let's see if there's any change up in the weapon picks. I don't remember if there was a squeezer last time.
Yeah, because we had Balloon on the machine, and yeah, Pelu was not on the squeezer. So we did have we have had a little bit of a change up.
Okay. Interesting. I like the Splatana Stamper from both teams. Both teams are going to be kind of chaotic with it. I wonder which one will come out on top then.
The Splatana stocks have been rising. They are strong right now, especially with the Pro Card.
I feel like that was so long ago, and now for it to come out here, amazing. And to see it doing so well too, also amazing.
The average comp player, when they hear a Pro Char thing, no, it's Pro Char, it can't be right. And then like 2 weeks later, they try it, and then they say, oh yeah, I told you it was right all along. Don't give Pro Char like half the time.
Hold on, we were talking way too much about Pro Chara. The game just ended.
I'm bad. My bad. My bad.
It happened so quickly. It happened so efficiently. Torrent was able to really take the Rainmaker and go with it.
Honestly, they were though. They did not play at all like they played in the last time they played this map, where it was slow and methodical in their pushes. Water Please just got run over.
Yeah. There's not much more we can say about that. We were talking about Pro Char the whole time. I wasn't watching as intently as I should have. It just
I thought the first checkpoint was gonna go, and then I didn't think it was gonna end. So I kept my point going.
I mean, yeah. I would have assumed that it would have gone for longer. We were seeing that Zipcaster play. We were seeing the picks coming back and forth. But wow. Torrent really just used that to their advantage, I guess.
Honestly, at the moment, what it felt like after that Rainmaker game is it felt like Water Please asked for water, and Torrent said, "You want a torrent? We've got a torrent for you." And
I knew this was coming, and how do I never expect it? I knew this was gonna happen.
Just imagine 8 fire trucks lined up with the nozzles ready, and all the members of Water Please are standing there, and they just get blown to the moon. Yeah.
I love this. I love this visual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's so many water puns, so many water visuals. This is just how do I not expect it in a game with squids?
And for all of you Showdown people, it's a Choice Specs Kyogre using Hydro Pump in the rain, and it lands.
That means absolutely nothing to me, but let's
all my Pokemon people in the chat know what I'm talking about.
We aren't playing Pokemon. This is Splatoon 3.
Well, I'll explain it in Mario talk then. Splatoon 3 talk.
exactly.
Stingray comes out. That's a good one. Stingray comes out. That's it. Overall, we do see a comp swap from Water Please. They are going to be going back to the machine. The hiccup is that.
Just trying to understand what is happening here. So much is going on. It's so quick. It's getting picked off to go down the side of Torrent. Water Please is pushing up here. They have enough clams if they put them together to make a power, but they're all over the map right now. They're just trying to get control, not really feeling the power. They're throwing clams to each other now, though.
They are. Haya's gonna go in again, but out. Len can't be sleeping on Len. You cannot at all. The blaster play is just, again, too strong. Gets the first connection down on the Storm, and that's it. That is beautiful blaster play, as always.
Len really chased Storm down there to get that pick, but they got it. So now Torrent has control of mid here. They are collecting the clams. They have big clam economy on their side. Water Please is holding their flat now, trying to paint up, trying to keep control. Oh, but it's getting tough, especially since that bubble is right there at the bottom of their ramp. They're able to get picks, able to make trades here. Oh, there's so much going on.
Zuka, and the jump gets camped. Storm does know that there is going to be more people from Torrent here. The clams aren't in favor of Water Please yet, but they will be shortly.
That ends up has a lot of clams here. Let's go the power. They are able to break the barrier. Let's go. Water Please. I can't see them on the plat here yet. They are trying to push it up though with those Zukas. Trying to be sneaky, trying to get the picks, but they weren't able to get many more points. They did get it down to 74 though.
This is gonna be difficult for Water Please to really get in there when you have that blaster on the spinner. Blaster on spinner can do too much damage too fast. Luckily, if you just wipe out almost the entire team, that's a really good way to get in.
Definitely.
You need clams though.
Water Please was able to get those clams. They were able to make another power. They're struggling to hold the plat though, as they keep jumping back from it. Probably not going to make much more of a score here.
Honestly, the way that Len is playing this blaster, if Len was in the kitchen, Gordon Ramsay would be in play. That's how beautiful. It's real. It's real.
It looks like Torrent was able to score a power clam. Although two of them do go down, I'm not sure if they're going to get many more points here. They're trying to push the ramp, trying to get more clams in, but they're not able to yet. They do have another power behind them. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to hold this flat long enough to score that one though.
Haya says hello. Haya does get two, and that is just going to be Len last alive. We know that the auto bomb has been tossed, knowing that Len is definitely nearby the spinner. Haya does not call that out, nor respect Len. Just one time I would.
Yeah. Torrent able to get some picks here, and now they're trying to go back to mid, trying to hold this. That bubble goes out, but Len does go down. They're trying to hold base here, trying to get the clams. As the cooler goes out, they are really trying to make a play here.
This is an opportunity for Torrent. They are in match point, by the way. They are more than just match point. They are tournament point. Water Please, you gotta stay alive. So far, not doing so well. The suction bombs have come out for Len. There is somebody behind that took them out. CJ, what can you do? You gotta protect this jump, because this is your opportunity to push.
Ooh, Scoring doing a really good job at the bottom of the ramp here. Trying to just take space to be threatening. Oh, they're getting the picks to go down the side of Water Please. Torrent able to hold the flat long enough to score another power clam.
At what cost? Ooh. It cost them everything. It cost them absolutely everything here, 6. That's terrible on Clambless, because that means the spinner is going to be in control of Water Please. The Zuka is out, gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Just land inside the bubble. You're going to be able to just power clamp in. And if you're Pelu, just start throwing those 6 pens in. Please do that. Get this clock down as fast as you can for Water Please. 20 seconds on the clock of your 6. I don't know if Torrent can hold on.
Oh, goodness. Good job, Water Please. Yeah, another power coming in. Oh, and they score it in.
No, they don't.
Oh, they didn't. They didn't. They threw it. The noise went off, but they didn't get the score. Oh, that's so frustrating when that happens.
It's all good. We're here for it. Overtime 6. Who's gonna take this?
Torrent's trying really hard to push up on the splat. They've got the bubble out. Can they get the power climb in there to score it? It doesn't look like they can. They get the wipe out. Oh no.
I gotta say, smart from Balloon there at the end of the game to destroy that big bubbler, because you don't know if somebody could pop out of spawn with a tactical jump. You have no idea, but that's a beacon. Big bubbler is a beacon. It's like Wahoo World is a timer. Big bubbler is a beacon. You can jump to it, and when you can jump to it, you can jump to it with a power climb. You can jump to it with a single climb. You can keep that basket open. So you always, always want to get rid of that big bubbler as fast as possible. Not only when people are alive, but also when people are splatted, because that is, well, I said it, a beacon.
Definitely. Oh goodness, I'm excited that Water Plays was able to get that one. Now we get more matches. We get to see more of these teams going head to head, and now we're going to see them in Splat Zones on Mako Mart, which is a very good Splat Zones map, I think. With these teams being so aggressive, it's going to be interesting to see the type of plays that they make here.
Two weapons that are really strong on this map that I've seen a lot today from these two teams: sword and blaster. It's gonna be up to the sword duel. I really gonna have to also machine balloon playing that machine. It's gonna be really up to that matchup. I need to see either Len hit all the directs and be followed up by their team for Torrent to wash away their competition, or Water Please to make sure that they take away the water of the competition, meaning that they have it all.
I knew there was gonna be a water pun. I just
Well, you missed the part where I said that Torrent could wash away all the stuff.
Okay, yeah, I totally did miss that part. That it's becoming so part of the speech now. It's not even being registered in my mind.
It's normal. We've always just been water, because
no.
it's sink or swim. It's always just been water.
That's fair.
What do you sink in air? Nah, bro, you sink in water.
Oh my goodness.
I've never seen somebody swim in the air.
It's been here all along, and I've just noticed.
Yep. 128 in. Oh. You know what says water, technically? Soda.
Well, that's a bit of a stretch, actually. I'm not going to give you that one.
Yes. Both teams have it. They got their booster energy.
Ooh, to go down on the side of Water Please. Although now that they have the 4-man advantage, they're able to try and push up here, trying to get the zone. They neutralize it. They haven't gotten it yet. They do have the man advantage, although now they don't. They have 2 down. Ah, it's going so quick. Torrent able to take zone back here.
Torrent able to get the zone back, and they've got so many members down from Water Please. You could rush up with this. We'll see how far they want to push, and they're going to get up onto that plot with Len's big bubbler. Len's just going to be up there cooking. Len's cooking. Smart. Back off. You don't want to fall in this scenario. Want to get that nice soda, because that's get that extra water.
Alright, we see Torrent here, able to keep the zone. They're getting these picks. They're sneaking around. They're controlling all the map. Although one does go down to a bomb here. 2 go down. This is Water Please's chance to retake the zone to get some points.
Final fight here, 6. What can you do?
Ooh.
Water Please, you gotta find a way in. It's just gonna be Storm, and a Storm is not gonna come today.
Len is getting a lot of picks with the blaster, and they're able to hold the zone, getting the score here. Torrent getting zones.
They didn't just get the zones here, 6. They got the tournament. Torrent wins.
Torrent wins!
Woo! They wash away the competition. Yeah, let's go, Torrent. I honestly amazed. I'm proud of them. They did it. The 10th seed. The 10th seed come in and take it to Water Please. The team that I said could just show up and win this tournament with a participation badge. They did not. They participation badge is not going to cut it for them this time. Torrent, they played stronger. They played better. They didn't even need another tower control game. I felt like that Rainmaker game really decided it, because Water Please, they needed a 2-2 going into the final few maps here, because Blasters are so strong.
Oh goodness, that was fun to watch. I'm happy for Torrent. They played so hard. They did so well. Len was such a strong blaster player. Watching all of them together, there was such good synergy. They were able to help each other, follow each other up, do so well. Oh my goodness, I love watching good teams.
Yeah. I gotta say, Josh, GJ, and Spec also did such amazing jobs. We talked about
Mhm.
Len so much because blaster is not a weapon we see a lot, and we know it's really easy to tell who's playing that blaster. But being able to, just being able to hold it down, I saw Spec some insane moments on whether they were playing either Nautilus or that Splatana Stamper. It was just immaculate to watch and see them carve out their competition. It's like, I don't know. It's the art of just being able to slice water
Oh my
without
goodness.
getting your your water, slice your hand through water without your hand getting wet. It's beautiful. It's art.
It's art. It's impossible, but it's beautiful.
Give me the NFT. Josh, your NFT will be coming. You can apply for it in I don't know if the TLs will reach out or help desk, one or the other.
Somebody else's problem.
Yeah, it's real. High five. High five 6. Yeah. Teamwork.
Yes.
Oh, what a tournament. What a tournament. And as you know what? The other thing that I forgot to say is in the game Where's My Water, they added more chapters.
Oh, did they?
So Sink or Swim was not their final chapter. It may
Okay.
have been chapter 4, but it was not their final chapter. Ad free and an ad supported. Oh, I'm not reading any more of this Wikipedia, bro.
What's happening?
Get me some more of this torrent news. There you go. All right. You got anything else funny to say, 6?
No, you've stolen the show.
How have I stolen the show? What did I do?
You were the one with the jokes, the one with the puns. You were the fast wit person here. You stole the show, and I'm okay. I'm okay giving you the show.
But the show was always us. It was actually everybody that was here. The show
That's
was all
true.
about Torrent. Realistically, we're just here to hype them up.
That's
all we're
true.
here for.
That's true. It's their show. We're
is.
just here to commentate it.
Yeah. But while we are wrapping up the stream, I'm gonna look at the IPL calendar and 6. Where can the lovely people find you?
The people can find me anywhere basically. Look on your Twitters, look on your where else am I? Oh my goodness. Who am I? I'm lost. Where can you find me? Uh uh I guess just Google me. You'll find something. You'll find something similar.
All right, perfect. Everybody, you can find me at Genie7. That's GEENIE7 _ on Twitter, no _ on all other socials. I will not be on the IPL stream later on this week, but I
no.
will be on a stream that IPL is helping each other out with, 20XX. Don't forget that we have coming up on IPL, we have 20XX Day 1 and 20XX Day 2. I'm not 100% sure. I know Pat's opening up IPL Day 1, and I know Falco and Popgun are going to be on the mic together for Day
Ooh.
2. Because Falco did say that out loud on his Twitter, but I knew that for a while. So if you want to make sure you tune in to IPL for that, and if you want to catch me, follow IPL and Apple because they'll be simultaneously streaming. But we also have IPL has what do we got? Proving Grounds on Friday.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you in that too?
I'm not doing Proving Grounds. All right.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
make sure I'm not giving the people false things.
Also.
PG.
Okay.
Yes, I'm correct.
Goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, with the 20XX map pool. But yeah, we got big tournaments. 3 days in a row. So no stream tomorrow. Then 3 days in a row, IPL is gonna have streams. Make sure you tune in to all of them because they will all be fun. But make sure when IPL goes offline on Sunday, follow the raid and you'll find me on Dapple.
Ooh. I'll do that.
Real. Well, make sure you have both streams open at the same time.
Oh, I'll do it on both then.
Yeah. But I have to make sure that because we're here on IPL, I gotta watch the IPL stream but then have the DAP one on the side, but follow it when you go to DAP, because rules and regulations of cross promoting on a different stream. I'm not allowed to say go to a different stream while I'm streaming on a current stream. You know.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that you couldn't, even if they're affiliated.
Well, it's not good to say that. It's like being at the Pepsi store and saying I like Coke.
Oh, okay. I won't say it then. Now I know.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, fun 6.
Yeah, that was fun. Do you
Alright,
have fun,
this is-
Jeannie?
I had a lot of fun. Are you good to end stream?
Yeah, I'm sleepy. I want to go to bed.
All right. Congrats, Torrent. Bye, everybody.
Good job, Torrent. Goodbye.